Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Forgive our debtors as we forgive our debts. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive our trespassors. Forgive our trespassers as we forgive our trespasses. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you, God, for my life. Thank you, God, for all the blessings, miracles, and gifts of today. May it be a very peaceful and blessed day for every heart and mind across the universe, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Thank you. All right, so we again woke up beyond 4 a.m. today by choice. I needed that recovery moment. And let's go here. Where are we here? What? Where is the thing? Oh, here we go. There we go. Okie dokie. Let's go back to OBS. Let's go back to the foot pedal. What do we have here? We've got my purpose. Okay. And we're going to start with you now. Okay. In 3, 2, and we're going live now. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing today?
I'm fine. Just need to keep my legs up.
Okay. Emma is pregnant, so she's already at the 34th week as of today's live stream. So we got to make sure we just take it easy. Got to make sure we take it real easy here. Let me make sure that the stream is set up. Yep, I think so. Goody, goody. Okay. Yep, I think so. Yeah, we just got to change that one though. Okay.
So let's begin with our beginning meditation so that we can tap into and expand in our limitless nature. And this meditation is exactly for that, so that we can tap into our limitless nature, because from our limitless nature we can access our greatest potential in body, mind, heart, and spirit. So let's do that by just closing our eyes and taking a few deep breaths into the depth of our heart space. dropping with our awareness into the heart. And when we breathe into our heart, we establish a heart-brain coherence. And when we are in a coherent state, we are in a limitless state. From our limitless state, we can access our highest creativity. And consciousness. And now we're gonna breathe even deeper into our feet. And now visualize from your feet digging deep, deep roots into the ground, into the soil underneath you, connecting with the earth, digging through the soil of the earth, through the crust, and expanding your roots into the core of the earth. First going deep down horizontally. And then also, once you have reached the center of the earth, expanding your roots of light vertically all around the planet. Allowing Mother Earth to anchor us, ground us, support us, nourish us, and nurture us in every way, so that we are deeply connected with where we are right now. And with every inhale, we're drawing the nourishment, the love, and the highest light of Mother Earth into our roots and absorbing it all in our body and our heart. Drawing the energy up one more time consciously from the earth into your heart. And then expanding and exploding it from your heart space out into your auric field, into your body of light all around you, your aura, your toroidal field, whatever you refer to it, shooting that light out northeast, southwest, in a cross all around you. expanding far, 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 expanding your field far, 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 far. And while it's expanding and growing out through your crown as well, it shoots all the way up to your highest source light, to the great central sun, to God, Goddess, Source, connecting you to the highest source realm of the highest source light, the highest Christ light. From your crown, connecting you with the heavens, from your crown, and we are connected also from the root with earth. And we are drawing it in now simultaneously, the light of the heavens and the light of the earth, and we're collecting it into our heart space. And when we exhale, we shoot out that light into all directions, growing and expanding and strengthening our field around us, imagining this massive ball of golden light in through and around us, the Christ light in through and around us, like a massive, 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 massive golden light expanding into all directions of the cosmos, growing our golden wings, big, 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 massive. And this is how we visually connect with our limitless nature, with the truth of who we really are. We're doing that one more time, drawing in the light of the heavens and the earth into our heart space and shooting it out with our exhale into our auric field. Connecting our heart light so that we can co-create in a very coherent, balanced, aligned state. Sending love to each other's hearts. Giving praise and thanks for being bridges of heaven and earth. Bringing in the highest timeline for us and for all. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes again and be fully here. How do you like this intro meditation?
Yeah, it's good. Gets everything really clear. I gotta do something. Give me a couple of seconds here. We got to delete the accidental live. Ba, 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 ba. Yes, I understand. All right, get excited because today is a very important day here. Today, what are we working on? Today, we are working on what? Content formats. What? Content formats. What? We need to create scripts.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is the following here. Let me show you.
Do I need to look at the screen? It would be ideal, right?
That would be very helpful, actually. Hold on. But wait. You hang out there. Let me actually upload these pieces of content that I recorded. So to preface today's episode and what we're working on today, let me actually...
I can also put my feet on the other side so I can look at the screen.
Yeah, that could also help too.
We're recording on livepurpose.com, not on Gabriel Serra, right?
It's on livepurpose.com. We're streaming to two places
Okay.
at once.
So Live Purpose and Gabriel Serra?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
How many places can we stream to on you?
3 with our account, unless we pay for it.
Okay.
And I'm not about to pay for it. I don't know if that's really worth it, to be honest. It starts to add up, like $20 is not a lot, but then when you have $20 here, $100 there, $50 there, $30 there, then it's like, whoa, it starts to add up pretty quickly. And for me, I'm only going for the most important software right now. All right, let me show you what I've been working on here these last couple of days so that you understand the idea behind this week. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So let me pull this up here.
There's so many cables.
Yep. That is where we are right now. And the reason why I'm going to show you all of this is because this is going to be relevant to what we're trying to accomplish here. So let me actually open up the screen share up on this too. Yep. Okay. And let's do the live purpose screen share. Yeah. Okay. You rock my world.
I'm so glad it's so warm here now.
Mm-hmm. So as I've been documenting before, I've been working on a brand operating system for the purposes of creating content that I can easily output day in and day out, especially right now as artificial intelligence advances mega fast. Like no one's going to keep up with that. So the idea behind this brand operating system is don't fight AI, work with AI. So I've been creating this brand operating system to basically help me do just that. And in order to output content at scale, it's going to come between a mix of like improv, which is me just like off the top of my head documenting with the camera, whatever, with the smartphone. And it's going to come from actually telling really good stories or providing high quality output with the use of scripts. Now, I am not a pro at writing scripts. However, I know that if I take all the information and I systemize my process of writing scripts, what's going to happen? I feed that to an agent, and I have the agent then take frameworks from story types, title patterns, hook patterns, content formats, psychological triggers, pieces it all together into a final output. And that's what I've been working on here. So what we have also now solidified this week were metrics. And the importance about metrics, the thing about metrics that makes it so important that you're going to need to know is that metrics are a key way to improve how we package and how we grow our personal brands, our social media following, etc. And also, how do we connect with people? I know that that's a big thing for us. It's to connect with people that are like-minded with us, right? So as we are working on finding our tribe, the New Earth tribe, or whatever you want to call it, and people that are interested in fulfilling their purpose, their dharma, this is going to be important because this is going to tell us, okay, what is it that we're not saying that's not resonating where people drop off? We need to figure out how do we provide value to those people in a way that does not waste their time, that does not create, ranting and banter and all that other stuff. And we need to figure out what is it that they need that we can provide to them. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's the key. What do they need that we can give, that we know that we can give, and we're not just trying to, monetize off of them, because that is not going to work long-term. The long-term approach is give massive value, show up unconditionally, love unconditionally, give unconditionally, and provide something of value that is so obvious to say yes to, they would feel stupid saying no to. That's from Alex Hormozi. So that's what we have to work on, and that's what we're working on right now.
What you said was from Alex Hormozi?
Well, he wrote a book, make offers so good people feel stupid saying no. And we're just basically taking it a step further with that. Mm. So
no, I felt the truth of what you said.
Yeah? Does that resonate?
It resonates a lot.
Okay, cool. So now here's what we're going to do. Now that we've done that, see, and that was just another piece of content that I just created for a short.
Yeah, I think these words, they would be so beautiful in a short.
So now that we've accomplished that.
They felt very expensive.
The next thing that I want to show you is this. So let's zoom in here so we can see metrics. So when creating content, and again, remember, when it came to that Life Purpose Of channel, okay, which was previously Gabriel Inspires. So let's go over here to this channel. Okay, when it came to this channel, how did I get it from 0 to 14.9 in basically about a year, right? How did I accomplish that? I accomplished that by focusing in on delivering value to them. Everything was about them, okay? It was about them. And the niche was for tarot, okay? Now, I've already talked about the problems and the challenges with that. And for me at the time, the intention was figure out what my purpose was. That was always the intention for when I started this one that got to 14.9K subscribers. Figure out what is my purpose, because the thing that I was doing before, the business I was running before, it was, tanking basically. And over here, what I learned was that, okay, if you have a repeatable format and you output content at scale, and this is before shorts came out. So this is when it was just only long form content and live stream. And then shorts came out a couple years later. So as this content format that I was just focusing on was long form, I was doing tarot readings for every zodiac sign, right? The good about that is that it's very, very easy to get and understand right off the bat. Okay, this dude is doing tarot readings and he's doing it for all the zodiac signs. Great. But that's the umbrella. The niche would be tarot reading for your life purpose, tarot reading for relationships, tarot reading for celebrities, tarot reading for fill in the blank. That would be the niche of tarot reading. The umbrella is tarot reading. The niche would be that, right? And even then, that would be a niche under, new age stuff or whatever. I don't know. For the life purpose, that's the same concept here. The same concept is the life purpose of what? The life purpose of who? Right? So you have the opportunity to do many different content formats, okay? And to explain that, here's what I mean. So I have been posting shorts to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to go to my YouTube studio, the back end, okay? And already, as a result of posting shorts, I went from 10 subscribers to 32 in a matter of like 48 hours.
Oh, interesting.
Exactly. So what I learned about that was the following. Okay, here's what I learned about.
You did a green screen.
I did a green screen video, yes. So that's a content format, okay? These are content formats. And this is what I'm figuring out with right now. And this is why I'm creating so many different styles. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to document that in a library, okay? So for example, one of the first weeks was us doing the podcast stuff, okay? And then I was using the AI stuff from Opus Clip, which was terrible. No offense. Then I was just focusing on EFT with the text read like this. And one of them got 1.5K. The rest kind of just dropped off. Why? Because I think YouTube flagged it as spam because I was posting so much. And then I had the screenshot of the workflow, right? And so one video got 232, one short got through 232 views, and the rest not really going anywhere. Then I posted this one, okay? The Puppet Master thing. So I posted that. Then I posted the Anger Monster, this one, me on the treadmill, this one, the hand video, thank you, Jesus, doubling my subscriber count. And look at how that already got.
I want to see these.
So that's what we're going to do right now. That's what we're going to do right now so we can study it, okay? We have to be able to study it, okay? Because if we go to other platforms like TikTok, for example.
You uploaded a bunch of shorts within the last 24 hours, right?
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Exactly.
The last one was this one I saw.
Exactly. So some of them are only for TikTok. Some of them are for YouTube. I also posted some to just Instagram, okay? And that's what we need to figure out and we need to work on is like, how is that going to work logistically, right? So some of these videos, it seems like it's not getting the same level of traction as it would for a TikTok or a YouTube, for example. Like this video here on Instagram got 140 views, but the same exact video got 804. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
I posted the video about the hand on Instagram that got 146 views. 146 views. On TikTok, it got 969 views.
Yeah, I have the same. When it comes to Instagram and TikTok, it's the same. The Instagram are flat and TikTok goes much higher.
Mm-hmm. And I think the reason for that is because of saturation and how the content is getting distributed throughout the platforms. And then we go to YouTube, however, and this Thank You Jesus one got 613 views, but on Instagram, this got 177 views. This Bridge Pros that I did got 161 views. This got 793 views. This got 775 views. So YouTube and TikTok are distributing it pretty well. This one is obviously it's over indexing, right? So it is.
Can we see one of them?
Yeah, we're going to see each one so we can study,
great.
okay? We're going to see each one because
I'm
this
really
is going to lead
curious
us
now.
This is going to lead us to the metrics. But again, remember, we cannot get distracted.
Right.
The purpose of this is for this, because what we're going to have to do today is we're going to have to work on script templates, and we're going to work on the script template for the life purpose of YouTube channel. And we're going to actually produce a piece of content today to test it out to a content format.
Okay, that's great. Because I have on my voice recorder about 10 pieces of the life purpose of ideas and scripts.
Great.
Which came to me on the Earth Day in the middle of the night.
Okay, good. So we're gonna work with that, okay? We're gonna use that to our advantage. First things first, though, is
Oh, that looks like a beautiful holiday place. Mr. Salt water.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, these were all yesterday's clips. These were all unedited clips from yesterday. So we're gonna put that away for now. And we're gonna go here, go back, delete, so that we don't have a whole mess of like duplicates. I can now see more and more why people would watch a certain video, and it's becoming more and more obvious. And what you have to do is real simple. It's just studying what the platforms are doing, what people are doing, not copying them, right? Because obviously then that, how far is that going to get you? That's not going to get you very far at all. But what you need to do, what I'm realizing is you need to tie it back to your overarching umbrella, basically. Okay. So to explain that a little bit clearer, is this.
Maybe he's a soul brother of yours.
Maybe. You talking about who? I Show Speed?
Yeah, like looking at him and his eyes, he kind of looks familiar.
He's fun. He's funny. Okay. Let's talk about the umbrella concept. Okay. We're going to call this the umbrella concept. Okay. So you have different platforms, YT, TikTok, Instagram, X, etc., etc. Okay. I'm only really focusing on these three. Okay. I have no idea about X, so don't ask me, but we're just focusing on these three, right? What you do is you study a couple of pieces of content. Okay. You study what's trending. You study what are the creative units. Okay. This is what Gary Vee talks about. Okay. What are the creative units available to you on that specific platform? Because every single platform, like if you start up a YouTube account, right, and you want to grow the thing, you have to post certain types of content that are going to resonate with the audience, okay? Because otherwise it's not going to take off. It's going to be dry. So when you have your YouTube channel, let's say if you want to grow, because again, how did I go from, it took me 5 months to get to 10 subscribers, right? But I wasn't posting shorts. I wasn't focusing on shorts. I was just literally live streaming. That's it. Live streaming has a different type of audience. Live streaming, people have to know you. At least that's what I'm seeing. Okay. So live streaming is really like for fans.
Oh yeah, totally. That makes sense.
Right? Because fans are not going to be the only ones that are going to want to actually spend time with you live.
Yeah.
Long form videos that are greater than 3 minutes, they're for trust. Okay. Are you the authority? Are you credible? Do you know what you're talking about? Or are you full of shit, basically? Then you've got shorts, okay? Shorts right now, they're
like ads.
They're like the gold mine for what you got to do, basically, in order for you to get discovered, okay? That's what that's for. Shorts are for discovery. And you'll find that TikTok and Instagram, they have similar features. They all have the ability to long form, okay? They have the ability to short, and you have the ability to go live on all three platforms, okay? That's the interesting thing about all of these. They're all similar, but they attract different audiences. And the way that the reach is going right now for some of them is like the market is more saturated here, and you have to come in with a different approach here. The market is different here. The market is different here. Who your audience is on every single platform is different, and what they're used to, what their comfort zone is on each platform is different. Okay. And like we read with the day trading attention book, with Gary V, creative units, they give you the opportunity to discover what is happening in a specific platform. Let me actually pull this up right here. Because again, this is just more content. This is honestly just more content for the library so that we can actually show different content formats. Okay. And I'm just going to explain how simple it is to do this. And it's not that you want to narrow down to just one content format. Okay. These are the content formats for different platforms. And what I've basically been highlighting is that on each platform, we have, let's say, for example, we have YouTube, we have TikTok, we have Instagram. What you want to do is you want to study what's going on in these platforms at first. Each platform has what Gary V calls creative units. These creative units are basically telling you like what the native app itself, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, what are they favoring? And you'll notice that there's like overlap between all platforms. You have the ability to live stream, long form, and shorts. However, you have to understand, or at least what I'm understanding and what I'm getting from just studying over the last months, because again, I went from it took me 5 months to get 10 subscribers. And then within the last 48 hours of posting this short, I was able to grow to 32 subscribers. So that's basically already a 200% gain from 10 subscribers, literally just 2 days ago. And what I realized is that live streaming is for fans. People are not going to spend time with you, an hour, 2 hours with you, when they could be, with their family or with someone else. Long forms are for trust. Okay. You have to establish that you know what you're talking about. You're the authority in that space. Shorts are for discovery. And that's really important, because what we understand about content is that content is going to change from platform to platform. So the ability to study that as you build your personal brand becomes even more relevant. And also making sure that you are, I guess, emotionally in tune with the audience and what they care about. Because if you're not emotionally in tune with what they care about, they're going to tune you out. And this is what I'm learning, and this is what I'm discovering as we go about this process of figuring out what is a content format that I can stick to, whether it's, using the smartphone, or whether it's that I use, the tripod with the webcams with the prompter, or whether it's I do like, hand skits and puppet stuff. It's all a matter of discovery and figuring out the content format that works for you. But either which way, just posting it becomes paramount to understanding what resonates with you, what resonates with them, and ultimately the value that you can provide and give to others for the long term. See, and that right there was another piece of content. That right there was just another piece of content. So you just post that, okay? You post that and you see where are the platforms that it's getting the traction. What I see for Instagram is that this piece of content is not going to work. It may work more for YouTube. And you know why I say that? Because YouTube for me has been primarily the source of education. When they had blog posts, you'd have to read these blog posts, and they had like all these keyword stuff, things and all that stuff. It was terrible. YouTube, you get to see the person, you get to hear their thoughts, you get to see like pretty visuals on the screen. That became more interesting. However, now with all the information that ChatGPT is putting out there, while it is very accurate and it hallucinates very little now, to get someone's perspective, that's something that AI cannot replace. How do you see it from your state of consciousness? You know, and it's only going to be from your point of view, how you see it, how you understand how that thing works. Okay. So what I just did right there was a content format. And basically what it was is I had the phone, I showed it on the screen, I showed what I was writing on the screen, and I would then flip back to me. That's a different content format. It's just showing it from a point of view, a different point of view that AI cannot replace, at least as of right now. So having said that, when it comes to the metrics, okay, the building up and now leading us to this, metrics are data. They're the data that we need to see in our content to determine whether or not we keep going or we just abandon the idea completely. Okay. So I'm going to go to the analytics and I'm going to show you that over the last 38 days, okay, this is what happened. I posted shorts here. Okay. Very obvious. I posted shorts here. 3,364 views, and then massive decline. And then you're just having a long stretch of nothing. Why? Because there was no real shorts being posted. That's fine. And this is also here too. This is also very obvious too. You have to continuously feed the engine is what I'm seeing. So for shorts and everything like this, they're very, as the name implies, very short-lived. Shorts are very short-lived. There are some shorts that may still get viewed, you know, after the fact, but I think you would have to make it like either a case study, something that's worth studying, or you make it into something that, again, I'm still figuring this out, that is able to be as evergreen as possible. And that takes time to figure out. That is what takes more planning. And that's why we would use AI and script writing and everything like this to figure out what is going to last long term. Now, having said that, as you notice, I posted some shorts here and then we got a massive spike. Okay, massive spike from yesterday from 9 to 10 p.m. And then we just went down and then we went up a little bit and then we went back down again, which means that these shorts, they have a very fast decay curve. Okay, so posting about like current events, it's going to have a very fast decay curve. So this piece of content, I don't know if it's going to do any better than that. This piece of content was very odd because it somehow got the views that it got, 2,252 views. Average view duration was 11 seconds. And the average, like the percentage wise, was 39.1% that stayed to watch. Now, I'm emphasizing this because for you, Hama, you got to learn this, okay? So really pay attention and take notes if you have to, ask questions. So in YouTube Studio, okay, so let's say I'm here back at my channel. Okay, you go in the top right icon, you go to your YouTube Studio. Okay, now you go to Analytics. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Advanced Mode. Okay, we're going to go to Advanced Mode. And we're going to see a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay, we're going to focus in though on Okay, let's go here. Maybe it's somewhere else. We're going to go to the shorts, and this is the one that I've been basically dissecting to understand. So this one has been around for like over a month, so it has the most data available, and that's why I'm using this one as the example. Otherwise, what you need to do, because remember, analytics are delayed on YouTube, even though they have the real-time stuff that they show here, it's still delayed in terms of like the overall data that you need to see to understand who are your demographics. So remember, we have for the cohorts, we have to understand who our demographics are, what are our demographics, and what are our psychographics. But let's look at this piece of content. We go to advanced mode. Oh, what? No, come on. Okay, hold on a second. I guess I must have deleted it. So let me pull up these metrics here. So we need certain metrics in order to get a very full diagnostic. We need average view duration. We don't care about the subscriber stuff right now. Average percentage viewed, stayed to watch. Okay. Views, watch time, CTR. So we have views, watch time, CTR. Impressions, click-through rate. Okay, yep. And then we also have, there was one more. It was average views per viewer. Okay. We need this. We're going to take off that line chart and we're just going to really focus on this. I'm going to just title this Key Metrics Example. And what we want to look at is this set of data. Okay. We need to understand the average views per viewer, average view duration, average percentage viewed, which is very, very important. Stay to watch, views, watch time, and impressions click-through rate. Okay. Now, I don't expect you to get this all at once, but you will need to understand this. Okay. Because you will need to do this for lifepurpose.com. Okay. Oh, there we go. Average views per viewer. So what we need to see and always be studying whenever we look at a piece of content. Remember, we don't want to post just for the sake of posting. Right now, I'm in the stage of posting for the sake of better posting, right? I'm marketing for the sake of better marketing. Okay, this is very important. So you really got to pay attention to this concept here. We want to market for the sake of better marketing. That's why I'm posting up different pieces to see what is resonating with the audience. Okay, if something doesn't resonate with the audience, it's not going to take off. It's going to go flat, right? So I need to figure out, because here's the idea. Regardless, if you are a solopreneur, if you're figuring out what your purpose in life is, you are a business person. Okay. If you are intending to, at this stage of humanity's consciousness, at this current stage, we rely on a cash-based system. Okay. We exchange things for cash. That's why yesterday you said, it doesn't feel good to give and then to not receive. That's just a reflection of where the mainstream consciousness is. People expect things in return. So at this stage, we need to think of ourselves as we are business people, right? We have a business to run. We fulfill our purpose through our business. Otherwise, unless you have won the lottery, unless you have a whole bunch of cash, you're going to need to figure this out. Okay. Now, and here's what separates the amateurs from the professionals. The professionals will track data. Okay. They track data, they track and they analyze everything. And that's what we need to do. That's the mindset that we need to take on. So for this is one piece of content. Again, we started doing the live streams and we started making clips, and that was the purpose of this. So when we get to here now, when we get to actually publishing, now we know, okay, these things came out. These pieces of data came out. What's wrong? Let's say if I click on the view analytics for this piece of content, what will I see? I will see the video views, how it got a massive push, and then all of a sudden it hit its decay curve. So the algorithm of these channels is such that if they don't meet a certain threshold or a certain criteria early on, it's not going to go viral. Okay, it's not going to go viral. And perhaps my perception, and maybe this is where I need to change, is I'm looking at how can I make the work as easy on myself as possible, to where I am not constantly posting and I'm just for a certain amount of views, not to discredit the views that are already there. Like, think about that for a second. You're having 200 people view your piece of content. That's amazing. Never lose sight of that. Never, ever lose sight of that. What I'm saying, though, is if there is a way where you can turn that 200 views into 20,000 views, into 200,000 views, why wouldn't you do that? And so that's where we are right now.
This is how many people shared.
This is how many people shared. This is how many people bookmarked, comments, likes, plays. Okay. How many people watched the actual video? How many people actually stayed to watch? 0.4%. So that's a very low number. Average watch time was 6 seconds. Total play time was 1 hour, 49 minutes. Fine. No problem. But what we need to understand with this, though, is, let's go to the profile, is where in our content did we fall off, right? Because here's the thing that I want to emphasize to you, Hema. Before, you had said, and you brought up a great point, about the whole putting your heart and soul into the thing and speaking with your soul. I totally get that. I totally understand that. However, what I'm saying to you is, if you put your heart and soul into a piece of content and then you think that it's going to take off and it doesn't, and you're going to get discouraged, you're very likely to quit. And this happened to me several times in the past, not with the last channel that I had, but I realized, like, hey, putting your heart and soul into a piece of content, into one piece of content, I don't think that that's the right mindset for me personally, because that's more like hobby, passion. I'm in the mindset of, I'm here to run a business. I'm here to provide value to people that are interested in what I have to offer.
Yeah, and I want to say about that, when you put your heart and soul into a piece of creation, it may reflect something that you personally want, that you personally need, that is important to you. And when you post that, it may not be so important to other people. But other forms of content, it's about, okay, what do my audience actually need? So it's a different thing. So, for example, I recorded a video on, it was like a prayer to God, and I created a piece of content on that. And it's something that was important to me. It did not get a lot of reach.
Put the thing next to your mouth. When I hand you the mic, put the thing next to your mouth.
You want me to start all over again?
Nope. Just go with what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I lost my flow right now.
When you're posting a piece of content, putting your heart and soul into it.
Yeah, so I have seen this with a few pieces of content where I put my creativity and my heart and soul in it. It reflects something that matters to my heart. It reflects something that matters to me personally and that is relevant to me. And these pieces of creation may not get a lot of reach because it is important to me, but not necessarily to my audience. Versus creating something specifically focusing on my audience and what do they need, what do they want, the reach and the reactions can be much higher than me just posting something that is important to me. And I've seen this with a piece of content which is 3 to 4 minutes. And it was a poem, and I found it so beautiful and I enjoyed creating it because it came from my heart. It mattered to me personally. It reflected something that was very important about my past journey, but it did not get a lot of attention. Versus having an insight when I walk, and it's like, you need to share this with the people. that can get a much higher view. That's all I wanted to say.
And when I put the camera down, that means I already stopped recording. So
Okay.
yeah, but that's, you see, you just said it right there so perfectly. You couldn't have said it any better. So that's the intersection of building a personal brand. There is maybe like, 20 to 30% you, maybe even up to 40% or 50% you, just for you. And then there's them. You have to have that intersection. It cannot all just be about you. It cannot all just be about them, because what happens is, like with my experiences, when I made it all about them and giving to them, I got burnt out and I felt like I wasn't receiving what I needed. When you do something like that, and then that's the other thing too. I think I did that before, where I vlogged and I made it about me, right? I made it about me before because I had a vlog. I got the Canon G7X. That was like the vlogging camera for its time between 2013 and 2017. And I wanted to make these videos like Casey Neistat, because I was just like, whoa, like this guy is amazing, like how he makes these videos. And I'm not a Casey Neistat though. I'm not going to make a video. I'm not going to make a Casey Neistat video, no matter how hard I try, because it's him. He's got the different energy. It just comes off differently. So, but that was about me. That was me making it for me. Nobody wanted to watch me. I'm not exciting. I'm boring in that context. And so
not with the shorts.
Not with the shorts maybe, but in general, right? Like why would you invest 10 minutes of your time, of your life, to watch someone for free? Yeah, it's okay. It's for free, but still there's a cost. It's time. Time is the cost. Time that you never get back is the cost. So you're still always, it's still always a transaction of some sort. So that's what I realized before. In that era, it was me. In the next iteration, it was them. But I saw how I grew very fast by making it about them. 14.9K subscribers, making it about them, right? Making it about me, 0 subscribers, begging, right? Now, the balance point.
This is also about the EFT live videos that you created. It was pretty much about you, wasn't it?
Exactly. And that's why I already know, hey, okay, intersection 50-50. Yeah. Intersection 50-50. That's it. So what I'm saying here with these metrics is that when we study these metrics now, okay, when we study the data, this is part of our PCS strategy, post-creative strategy. How are people interacting with the piece of content? What did they resonate with? Did they stay to watch the whole thing, or did they drop off? And this is what we have to understand. A great piece of content is going to have someone stay to watch maybe 2 or 3 times. That's the key. If they stay to watch 2 or 3 times, that's going to increase watch time, stay to watch, average views per viewer, all of that stuff. And that's going to signal to YouTube, that's going to signal to the algorithms of every social media platform, hey, this is something that's worth watching. Let's continue to distribute this. If it is not, you're going to see it drop off really quickly, okay? And that's the decay curve effect. If the video you think that you thought would be great would do a lot of views, put it to the test and see how the market reacts. The market will show you and will tell you within hours whether or not it was good, it was not good. And that's again, that's subjective. That's a matter of preference and taste. That's why Gary Vee, in that regard, yeah, 100%, I agree. You have to just post. Just post. If you have an idea, just post. And that's the same concept with Nathan Apodaca.
What happens if you take...
That's the same thing with, what's his name? Dogface? There we go. This guy. Do you remember what I was telling you about before with the videos? 99 million views. This video got 99 million views. And that sent him into being an actor. That sent him into going viral. Just as one piece of content. Do you remember that? With the ocean spray? That's what I'm talking about here. So I don't think he was planning for that, but he had the idea in his head. He went with it, and that's where he is now, you know? And so what I'm saying with this is we're never going to know what's going to take off. That's why we have to post, just like Gary Vee. Just put it out there. Just just shoot the J. Shoot it. Just shoot it, because we don't know. So we posted this piece of content. This is the metrics. These are the insights, okay? Now, what we have to understand here is that average views per viewer basically means how many people are staying to watch. How many people have rewatched the video over and over and over again. If someone watches a video 3, 4, 5 times, this number goes up, and it goes up by the decimal. It goes up to like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. A 1.3 is like really, really good. Average view duration, if people are obviously staying like the entire length of a video, of a short or whatever, that's really good. Average view percentage viewed, we want that to be at least an 80%. 80%. Okay, so this is 49%. It's still not there. Stayed to watch is at 46.2%. We still want that to be above, average percentage viewed should be at 90% and above. Stay to watch should be at 80%. Impressions, your impressions are relative to the impressions click-through rate. So impressions and impressions click-through rate will tell you out of all the impressions, how many people actually clicked on the thumbnail, which then tells you whether or not it's a matter of your CTR. So let's actually scroll down here. Is it a matter of CTR? Is it a matter of watch time? Okay. CTR is click-through rate, and click-through rate is basically packaging. Stop me if this is too much. I know this can be a lot at first, but we're going to keep drilling this in, okay? Because this is basically the building blocks of doing this professionally, okay? Packaging equals title plus thumbnail. At least this is for YouTube, right? At least this is for YouTube, how I understand it. Watch time is, if let's say I have a 1-minute video, how many people watched 1 minute, the entire 1 minute, okay? On a 1-minute video, on a 1-minute short, how many people actually watched it, okay? The impressions, again, maybe this is my amateurness, but impressions are how many people how many times did YouTube or the platform show your piece of content, your thumbnail, okay? So that's the thumbnail impression.
How many times the platform showed your piece of content?
Okay, so for example, YouTube, the impression metric for YouTube, I think this is mainly for YouTube, but the impression concept is when you post a piece of content, okay, the impression is who sees it. Mm-hmm. Who sees it.
Okay.
And that's the thumbnail, right? So on a long form piece of content, when you go into YouTube, you got the long form, that's an impression. Okay, so if you see someone's video, if you go, okay, just perfect.
So just seeing it without clicking on it is an impression.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So let's say I'm here, right? This is an impression. This counts as 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 an impression. Okay. Impression. Just literally this showing up here is our impressions, okay? So if I refresh the page, I should see something completely different. Impression, okay? Impression, all right? These are all impressions, okay? Now, if I click on the video, okay? If I click on the video, let's say if this video in particular, this video was shown 100 times. We have 100 impressions. If 10 people click on the video, okay, they actually click on this, that counts towards your click-through rate. That counts to this metric.
Let me just pause here for a moment. Okay, impression. So this means this video was shown to people 55 times without them clicking on it or maybe clicking on it.
Yeah. And what we have to also see here too is the dates.
Okay? Oh, no. Impressions means 55. It was shown to 55 people, but only 11 clicked on it.
exactly. Now,
Okay.
what we also have to understand here too in the analytics tab is that there's different different date periods where we can study this. Okay, so we have since published. Okay, and then we have since uploaded. Okay, and notice how the impressions count changes.
Oh.
Okay, so if we want to see the first 7 days or the last 7 days, these are the impressions in the last 7 days. This is the last 365 days. This is since it was published. Okay, so we're gonna look at the the data since it was published.
Okay, hold on a second. How can the impressions be lower than the views?
Yep. So now this is where I'm confused myself, and this is where we're gonna go to ChatGPT now, and we're gonna ask this question. Okay. Actually, you know what? You can also do this as well. So we're gonna down. Oh, okay. Since uploaded. We're gonna download the CSV as a comma separated value. We're gonna go into ChatGPT, open up the Finder. We're gonna go to the day. Table data. Okay, please help us understand. Sorry, I have a page opened up actually already. Metrics. Yeah. What was your question exactly? Yes, a really good question.
How can the impressions be
Lower.
lower than the views?
Okay, cool. Let's actually break this down here. We are auditing a piece of content and we're analyzing the metrics for that one piece of content. And what I'm asking you to do here is help us understand what the data is telling us. Because if we're saying that impressions for a piece of content on YouTube is basically how many times the thumbnail was shown, how is that possible that the impressions are lower than the views? Question mark. And remember that the total data has been since the piece of content was uploaded. And that was these are all the metrics that we see for this piece of content. Please help us understand this and help us break down what each metric is telling us basically and how it's calculated so we can see the math in front of us. And that's the other thing too. Like I may not know like all the numbers for it, but we're going to use AI to help us audit. That's going to be the best thing for us to do because AI is going to be able to interpret the data much faster for us and tell us where we're going with this. Okay, it just hallucinated. That was not my question at all, which is a common thing that can happen. You did not answer my question at all. Period. Please refresh yourself and look at the table data CSV currently and answer this. And what I did over this last week is I basically created a template for and a prompt for AI to basically take the content that we need and analyze and interpret the data. Yes. And the key thing that you're missing is this: impressions are not the same thing as total opportunities to get a view. For this short, the data says views 1661, etc. These are the metrics, right? Why can views be higher than impressions? Because on YouTube, impressions only count certain thumbnail shows on YouTube services. They do not represent every possible path to a view. Okay, so that's important to note. YouTube says impressions click-through rate usually represent only a subset of total views, because not all views come from counted thumbnail impressions. Examples include some external sources, end screens, other non-counted surfaces. For shorts, this gap can be even higher or bigger, because shorts can get views through the shorts feed. And since March 31st, 2025, YouTube counts a shorts view whenever the short starts to play or replay with no minimum watch time requirement. So think about that. If someone is like just scrolling through YouTube and then they scroll and then they happen to see your video, that's already going to count as a view. That may already count as a view. So,
but not as an impression, or both.
But not as an impression. You're correct.
Okay.
You're correct. Okay.
So an impression is only seeing the thumbnail of your video without it watching,
Correct.
without it starting to play.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So the clean answer: how many counted thumbnail impressions happened on YouTube? Okay. So maybe the impressions on YouTube was shown 250 something times. How many times the content was watched and started, including past that are not counted as thumbnail impressions? Okay, so that's the difference between impressions and views. What each metric is telling us: impressions, 256. This means YouTube counted your thumbnail being shown 256 times on eligible surfaces. It does not mean the video was only seen 256 times overall. For this piece, 256. So really understand that there. It means YouTube only looked at this or showed your thumbnail 256 times on eligible YouTube surfaces. The click-through rate, 2.34%. This is the views from counted thumbnail impressions. Okay? So this is where we have the math here. Okay? So 2.34% of 256. That means that there was 5. So roughly 6 views came from those counted thumbnail impressions. So out of the people that watched or saw the thumbnail on the eligible YouTube service, they actually clicked on it.
Say that again.
Out of the 256 times that YouTube showed the thumbnail on that piece of content, only 6 people actually clicked on it to view it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's where you get the click-through rate. Okay, that's where you get the click-through rate.
Mm-hmm.
The click-through rate is the clicks or resulting views from counted impressions divided from impressions. So the views divided by the impressions. Views divided by impressions, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Or clicks divided by impressions. So 6... 6 divided by 256. Exactly. 6 divided by 256 times 100 gives us 2.34%. Okay? 2.34%. So you guys can see that there. And again, I'm not a math genius, so that's how you would do it. So it's the clicks, the people that clicked, divided by the impressions times 100, and that gives us 2.34% roughly. Okay? That's what that gives us. So that's telling us that maybe we could have a packaging problem. We don't know yet. The next, that means only a tiny fraction of your 1,661 total views came through counted thumbnail impression pathways. The rest likely came from other sources, especially shorts feed behavior. The views. This is the total views for the selected period. For shorts, views can include starts, replays, don't require the same thumbnail impression pathway as CTR impressions. And that makes sense because if you go to YouTube, for example, and let's say I want to click on a short. Let's go through this account actually. Let's say I'm here in YouTube app and I want to go through a short. Okay. Notice how when you go to the actual shorts feed, you're going to see something like this. Okay. You see something like this. And then I swipe to the next video. That's it. That's going to be the view. That's going to count as a view for this person. Okay. If I keep swiping, it's going to count as a view. That's going to count as a view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's going to count as a view. Now, if I keep doing this though, I understand. I understand that if I keep doing that for a lot of people, what's going to happen is that's going to drop their, click-through rate stuff, So that may not distribute because then that might tell the platform, oh, this piece of content sucks, so I don't want to do that. But that's pretty much the behavior though of people that are not professional YouTubers or, professional social media influencers. That's their behavior. They scroll until they find something that captures their attention and then they'll stay to watch. That's the mindset that we have to understand. How are people interacting with that piece of content? How are they interacting with the platform in general? That's the platform and algorithm and culture concept that Gary Vee was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the views, this video could have a lot, like 1.6K views because they were just scrolling, but how many actually stayed to watch? 30% stayed to watch. Okay. So out of the 1,661 views, then that means that less than 800 actually stayed to watch from beginning to end.
Oh, so stay to watch is the entire video?
Yes. And that's
still not bad.
That's going to tell you how good the short is at getting someone to not immediately bail. About 30% stayed. About 69% swiped away. That is, stay to watch strong enough to work with, but still leaves room to improve the opening stop power. Average view duration is 22 seconds. That's pretty good because the actual piece of content was 19 seconds. Okay, so if they're staying for 22 seconds, that means, oh, wow, they're actually rewatching it. They're actually rewatching the thing. So YouTube defines this as the average time watched. For shorts, this is calculated from engaged views and corresponding watch time. So if the average view duration is 22 seconds on a 19-second short, that means people are rewatching looping, which is very good. And that's why if you look at this metric, average views per viewer, it's 1.1. 1.1 means people are rewatching that. That's very good.
Can you do the same analytics on TikTok and Instagram?
To an extent.
Set a timer.
And that's what I was trying to show here. You see certain analytics here, but I don't know if you get the same. I don't think you get the same necessarily analytics from YouTube, so from TikTok as you do YouTube. Okay. So I can see the comments here, right? I can see the comments here. And I can see here, emoti, regulati, search queries.
What?
I don't know. But this is what people are searching for. And so this gives us an idea. Personal profile. How many people are actually watching from
That's a different language, isn't it?
Probably. Maybe it's like Latin.
That sounds Italian.
Italian or
Emoti, regolati, gelati, ice cream.
There you go. That's it. That's exactly right. For you, in the For You page, remember when you go open up TikTok, as soon as you open it up, you're bombarded with like a piece of content.
I know, I don't like that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what they have to do though, right? That's what they have to do to engage you. So this is the overview.
Doesn't engage me, gives me anxiety.
This is the overview. So let's view this piece of content right here. Let's view this data for the 971, right? So this is just a landslide down. Okay, this is just landslide down. We got 927 plays, 10 likes, 3 comments.
Oh, and it shows you that you got a new follower from this video?
Yep. How many people actually watched the whole thing? So 1% out of 927 views, only 1% actually watched the whole thing.
I don't know if that's true. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, you did because you know me. But otherwise, no. And look at this. Look at this retention graph. So retention, this retention graph is very important. And we can actually scrub through and we can see what happens as we go through each one. And that's going to be super important moving forward.
So after 5 seconds,
people drop off the video.
Yes. So after the first 3 seconds, we're now at 41%. So 100 people were here. Now we're here at 41%. By the time we get to 8 seconds, already now, what do we see? 14% stayed. And then after that, 1% stayed to watch.
Really?
Yes. So that's why I'm telling you, for me, this time around, I'm not in that mindset of put my heart and soul into it and not check the analytics. That does not make any sense. You get what I'm saying? I just created this idea because it was fun. It was like in the top of my head. But clearly, look at what happened. If you're banking on trying to become a social media rock star or influencer on this, and you're like, why am I not growing? It's because you're not checking the analytics. You're not looking at what's happening. What is the market actually telling you? And that's to your point, Hema, of what you said is so brilliant. You posted a poem. You thought it was good. The market told you otherwise. And that's what matters. When you post something, if you're going to do a personal brand, you have to understand that when you do something that you like to do, maybe a lot of people won't like it. Are you okay with that? You have to be really okay with that and have to be really aligned and in congruence with what's true to you. Because if it's not true to you, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get discouraged. If you're not fully aware of your intentions for doing social media, and you think, oh, I'm going to disguise it as like, I want to build a personal brand and whatever, but you really want to make money, what do you think is going to happen? If you don't make money, if you don't hit that objective, if you don't get the views or whatever, you're lying to yourself, number one. Number two is you're going to get discouraged and you're going to quit. And that's what I'm saying here. So be really honest and authentic with yourself first and foremost, and be honest with how you feel about this, right? I'm not married to this piece of content. I'm not married to this, okay? I'm like, it was fun for me to do it, but I'm not married to it. I'm just experimenting. And if
any reason why you still have the small microphone on?
Yeah, because I may document more. I may keep posting more. That's why I have it on.
Okay, so the small microphone is connected to the phone, right?
But it's not connected right now. There's no receiver.
Oh, okay.
This is what makes it work. So if this is not on, that's it. Don't worry about it. So that's what I'm saying here. Now, if I look at this piece of content, what do you think happens here? 0%. 0% watch the full video. Total play time, 0 hours, 10 minutes. That's why it didn't get the reach. And the retention curve, look, it just dropped off like a landslide. Within 2 seconds, from 100% to now 28% people. And then by the time we got here, 0. Right? And of course, I'm expecting that. I'm expecting that to happen. Right? So these are the examples.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram also has their own thing too with their analytics stuff.
So one view could literally just be a person watching it for 1 second and going off the video.
That's it.
So it really doesn't mean much.
It doesn't mean shit. But it also means something very important. Okay? It also means, well, okay, so for this, you need to have like a influencer thing. I think I'd have it. Can I not see the thing? Okay, let's look at this same piece of content here. Oh, view insights. Okay, so now let's view the insights here from this piece of content. And this is the thing that Gary was talking about with the interest graph. How many people were actually watching this content that were actual followers? Less than 2%, 1.1%.
That was me.
And that was probably you, exactly. Out of non-followers, 98%. The accounts reach was 160, interactions 1. Okay, accounts engaged, etc.
Interaction is my comment.
Yeah, probably your comment or something, or the like. The like or the comment is an interaction. How many people actually engage with the thing? Okay, that's super important. I don't see any like other graph stuff, so I think it's got to be connected to like Facebook to get those advanced insights. But that's what you're seeing. Okay, so if you don't get the reach for it and you're wondering why, well, this is why. You have to look at the data. We have to look at what all this data is telling us. Let's continue on. Average percentage viewed, 117%. So on that video, on that short for YouTube, we had over 117%. YouTube defines this as the average percentages of the video watched among those who stayed to watch. For shorts, this is also based on engaged views. This number being above 100% means viewers are watching more than the full length on average. So there is replay loop behavior. The approximate math asset length was 19 seconds. The view duration was 22 seconds. So 22 divided by 19 was 115.8%. Okay. Your reported total number is 117, which is directionally consistent and likely due to the external-internal video length and rounding. Average views per viewer was a 1.1 basically, according to YouTube. Each viewer watched the short about 1.058 times on average. Approximate implied unique viewers, 1,570. So this tells you there is some repeat viewing, but not an extreme amount. Watch time, that's pretty simple. Check the math. 3,600
3.6 hours.
3.6 hours times 3,600 is 13,217 seconds. Divided by 16.61, 7.96 seconds per viewer. Okay? That looks lower than the 22-second AVD because for shorts, some metrics are based on engaged views, stay to watch behavior. So the important takeaway is not all these metrics share the exact same denominator. That's why the math does not always reconcile perfectly if you try to force all fields to use the same pool of views. What the real data is telling you for the short, the real read is this. The piece likely has weak packaging, clickability, and counted impressions environments. Strong post-click retention once people actually start watching. Good replay loop behavior. No strong evidence yet that the script template is the problem. So the current direction is packaging verdict is weak. The content verdict is strong.
What does verdict mean?
So like the opinion. So basically like what is the analysis or the diagnosis, okay, on that piece of content. So we can see here that that's pretty accurate. The packaging, and this is what the AI filled out for us. The packaging was very weak. The content itself was strong enough. And the primary failure for this piece of content was the packaging. So we have a signal here that what we need to do in the future for this piece of content, and if you see it right here, let me also open this up here so you can see. This was the packaging for this piece of content. Okay? That's the title. This is the thumbnail. And if you play the video, where you're in fight or flight, your brain treats your calling like a threat. Versus, if you're trying to fulfill your purpose while you're dysregulated, you're basically trying to build your life from a nervous system that thinks it's in a war zone. And then you wonder why you procrastinate, why you freeze, why you overthink, why you self-sabotage. It's not because you're lazy. Done. So that's 19 seconds. And what this is showing us is that, yeah, there may be a problem now with the thumbnail, okay? So let's go back to ChatGPT to get its analysis here. The packaging could be weak, which very, very likely. The content verdict apparently is strong enough. That's a fair read. The simple way to think about the funnel, for shorts, there are really two different gates happening. Gate 1, stop, click, enter, measured by things like stay to watch, CTR, impressions. Gate 2 is hold and replay, measured by things like average view duration, average percentage viewed, average views per viewer, retention curve. For this short, gate 2 looks good, gate 1 looks weaker. That's why the system is telling you improve your packaging framing first, not the content structure. Blunt answer, not crazy. Impressions being lower than views is normal, especially on shorts, because impressions count only certain thumbnail shows, while views can come from broader shorts, playback behavior, and replays. And for this specific piece, the data is basically saying people who start watching tend to watch well. The main problem is getting more of the right people to start. Okay? So why is that important? Now, here's where we're really in the meat and potatoes of this. So
Let's do a quick break.
okay. And we are back. Now that we've established this, okay, we understand now that average views per view, and again, you can rewatch this live stream if you need to really understand this. And you've also got the chat GPT message here. Average views per viewer, how many people of the same person actually rewatch the video over and over and over again? Average view duration, 22 seconds on a 19-second clip. So people were rewatching this. Average percentage viewed, 117%, which is over the amount of like how much someone would actually watch the video, you know?
Average percentage viewed. Can you explain that again?
So if we have a 19-second video and we have 22 seconds that someone actually watched, like on average, okay, that is basically where we get the percentage from. So basically the higher the percentage, basically that's telling us like this was rewatched several times. So if someone,
so if it's over 100%, people are rewatching it.
exactly, if it's under 100%, people are rewatching it and then dropping off. Stayed to watch, out of the people that actually did watch the thing, 30.9%. 30.9%. Okay. The views.
Stay to watch is the entire video.
Yes. From beginning to end. So 30.9%. We want that number to be as high as possible. Okay. And if it's, let's say, under, I think, what is it, 80%, it's not going to go viral. It's not going to take off.
Is that so?
Yeah. So I took the course with Jenny Hoyos, who is the viral marketing. She knows how to make videos go viral, basically. And I got her course, and these were the numbers that she was saying that you need to be able to hit. And some of these, again, this.
I'm really curious about the Instagram video that I posted with the 31K and the analytics of that one.
You mean the TikTok video?
Yeah.
The TikTok. Yeah, you would have to go into your thing and study the analytics. So her account, if you see one of these, she got 183 million.
Do you know, is she from the United States?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said, I built a secret. So this is her top grossing or top viewed piece of content, her short. And this is how she got so huge. She posts shorts constantly. Her videos don't do that kind of takeoff. Okay.
Oh, these are the videos. Interesting. Okay.
Okay. Even her most popular long form piece of content was 10 million views.
The long form.
Yes. Even her most popular long form piece of content, 4 minutes, 29 seconds, 10 million views. Nothing compared to 183 million views. Now let's check out this piece of content just so you understand here.
I'm building a secret room with $0.
There's a whole room in here! What are you doing? You're destroying the house!
What? She can't know I'm turning this hole in the wall into a secret hideout to watch YouTube. And I'm using wrapping paper for the walls because my budget's $0 and we don't have paint. But at least now the wall's fully covered.
I'm out of wrapping paper!
It's not a secret if I'm yelling. And I found items around the house to decorate the room, like
Oh,
a
that's
rug,
pretty
table,
creative.
pillows, blanket, and my iPad to watch YouTube.
We got RGB! I think I just broke it.
And even though I might have stolen them from my parents, they're perfect for my room. But my secret room has a big problem.
This is very obvious. This is not a secret.
So I added a secret entrance made from a trash bag so no one can find it. Then I got popcorn to enjoy watching YouTube in secret.
It looks so nice, right?
I'm building a secret room with $0.
There's a whole room in here! What are you doing? You're destroying the house! What?
Okay.
That's her mom.
Okay. Yes. So check that out. Still to this day, her video gets 183 million views. How did she accomplish that? Okay. This is where, again, you have to
You found her just so?
Yeah, I found her a few months ago, and then I found her course, and then I took the course because I was like, how in the world did she get 100?
Did you find a short pop-up on your feed about her? Is that how you found her?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just know that now I know who she is, and she seems like a great person, and I like what their content is and what they do. And if you look at her latest videos, they're not getting anywhere near as many views because she switched up her content format, but she's posting a lot more. And still, every single video, though, she's getting 160K views, 370,000 views, 199,000, hundreds of thousands of views. And basically what this means is that whatever her content format is, she figured out her niche, she figured out her branding, she figured out all those things, right? She changed up her branding from being like the girl that wears the glasses and, looks more like nerdy to now, changing up her entire image. And that's what you see here. And she did this around the time where she got 10 million subscribers. And she got 10 million subscribers, I think within the last couple of weeks or months or whatever. So she's already at 11.5 million, which is insane. So now...
And she makes money from that.
Yeah. She was saying in one of her things that she does 6-figure, 7-figure months sometimes.
From ads?
Yeah.
And she has courses too.
Ads, sponsorships. She was also on a TED Talk. Look,
okay.
So she also did a TED Talk as well. And this was her talking about how to tell great stories and go viral, basically.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, exactly.
She she must be in her 20s, right?
Yes.
Or not even.
She's like 20, 21 or something like this.
Okay.
But the whole point of that is that these are the metrics that I learned were important from her course. Okay.
Yeah.
These are the metrics that I learned that are very important from her course. Right. She also gave like hook templates and things like that. We'll get into that a little bit later, but this is pretty much it. We need to understand this. Okay. And again, getting back to that idea is why. Here's the why. Okay. Why is this important? Number one, making videos has a purpose. Okay? Making videos has a purpose. We are reading the Crushing It book with Gary Vee, and what did he say about the dentist? The dentist went all in on learning how to create content that's engaging, that people are entertained with, etc. And what did that do? It brought her more business. It brought her more attention. It brought her more eyeballs. Kids want to go to her as the dentist. So the more videos, the more popular she is, the more that people want to go to work with her. Okay? Now, number two, when we create a piece of content, okay? Videos, content, study for PCS. Okay? Why does that matter? When you post a piece of content, you're not just posting for the sake of posting and praying and hoping something sticks. You're not spraying and praying. You must analyze the data, because the feedback and the data on that piece of content will tell you where you need to improve. So we can rapidly iterate and we can rapidly improve if we study where we broke down. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, there are two specific gates. Okay? There's two specific ways, okay, that we need to improve. Packaging and retention. Okay? Those are the main ways.
What's retention?
How many people stay to watch? Retention versus turnover are two different terms, right? Retention is how well can someone stay? How do you make someone stay? And packaging is title, thumbnail. Now, I would say that packaging also may include hook. I may just include that there versus here, because usually, and that's also why Gary emphasizes the first 3 seconds of a video. If your first 3 seconds sucks, people are going to swipe away. And that's exactly what happened here. Okay. People are just going to go away. Analytics on a piece of content. Let's go here. View the data. Okay. First 3 seconds. Done. See, we went from 100% to by this time, 78, 55, 41%. So that means the first 3 seconds has to be strong. Has to be strong. For Jenny Hoyos, again, what does she do? She has 183 million views on that piece of content that we looked at. That means her first 3 seconds were strong and her overall retention was strong. Her pacing in the entire video was strong. Okay.
How do you know?
In the course, she shows her analytics. Okay. She shows the back end. But also at the same time, just to tell you, YouTube is not going to distribute a piece of content that sucks. YouTube is going to make something go viral if it keeps people's attention. That's just the business side of it, right? Because they need ads. They have a business to run.
it costs a lot of money to store video content on their servers. So they need to make sure that they're only distributing the best content that's going to keep people on the platform, because it has to keep advertisers happy. We have to understand where they're coming from. Okay?
Yeah.
And we also have to understand where the human, the person that's actually watching our content coming from.
Yeah.
If we don't understand that and we do things because we want it, they may not want it.
Yeah.
You understand? So Jenny Hoyos gets 183 million views on doing that little thing with the little room in the house. This piece of content with the puppets, I think it's good, but clearly not. The market tells you otherwise. And that's why we have to understand what the market is telling us. The other thing too that Jenny mentioned, which is very important, is that shorts are short for a reason. Shorts, the best shorts are like less than 34 seconds. And even then, that starts to become like a long thing. Yeah. So basically, every second has to be planned out. Every second for a short has to be planned out. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, they all are now operating on shorts. So they're basically enhancing and feeding that whole short retention, short attention thing. You know what I mean? So they're basically contributing to brain rot shit. You know what I'm saying? And that for me is not something that I'm willing to contribute to. So you have to really figure out the balance point. Okay. But this is also where we get back to now to what, Danny was saying and the other people in your group were saying, that they have tiny followings, but those tiny followings are very targeted. And that's how they are able to come together and generate business. Okay. And provide their offerings to people. So what we're seeing here with purpose and what we're trying to do is it's a combination. It's literally a combination of knowing how this stuff works with analytics, with metrics, and then knowing also how it works with, getting people in tune with their purpose in life. What are their skills? What are their gifts? Whatever. So this is a skill. Understanding how to make great videos is a skill. It is a skill. It is not luck. It is not anything like this. And what I'm doing right now is I'm devising this system in such a way, I'm engineering our system.
Well, I have to say this. You say it is a skill, it's not luck to create videos. The video that got more than 31,000 views on my TikTok, in my opinion, that was not a skilled video.
There's the balance point though. So Nathan Apodaca, the dog face guy with the ocean spray, and he's with the skateboard.
I don't think that was so much skill, was it?
That was not skill. Okay. That was just very unintended. However, the skill is in knowing when to capture the attention, knowing when to record, being comfortable enough in front of the camera to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
And
if
also,
you consider that a skill, yeah.
Of course. Think about it. When someone is first starting up, I remember this for me. When I was first starting up on YouTube, I was like, camera, like I would press the record button and I was like, oh no, that's stupid. Let me delete it. That's not how that works. You gotta show your authentic self. You have to be as organic and natural as possible. And that takes time.
Yeah. If you consider that a skill, for sure, yeah.
Of course. Being in front of a camera, talking, sharing an idea, that is a skill. Learning how to drop your tone, raise your tone, speak up, slow down, speed up. Those are all skills in communication. And that's important because what is vibing with the audience on the platform that you're in, it could be completely different. All right. So moving on to this is, if I were to engineer this, if I were to like try to actually dissect, like, okay, why didn't this take off? By the time we got to 30, by the time we got to the 3-second mark, we had already a 40%. 40% of people were still there, but 59% dropped off. By 3 seconds, 59% dropped off. That means that if you had a call to action here, no one's going to hear it. right? If you had a call to action on a video, no one's going to hear it. But I don't think that's the point of shorts. I don't think the point of shorts is, hey, buy my thing. I think the point of shorts is get discovered and then have people actually like interact with your website, with your profile. And then if they want to go to the next action, then they do. And the only way that you can get there is if you have a whole bunch of content. Okay. You need to have, that's why you need to have a library of content, because when they actually do find you, they now can look back. They now can look back and they can see, okay, this. Okay, I got an idea now of who this person is. All right. And I think that's how that works. That's the psychology and the logic. So people don't want to be sold to. People may not want to be sold to. They just want to be entertained. And that's why they go onto a social media platform like a TikTok. It's usually entertainment purposes.
That's very similar to what Danny was saying. She said, just put out what you have, and people naturally, when they want to dive into your paid offers, they will look for it. They will go for it. Exactly.
They're just gonna interact with it, you know? And that's how I pretty much see it at this stage. And now we can also break it down into like viewers, who's watching, the actual physical demographics. 81% males, females, 19% from the Netherlands, from Belgium, Denmark, Austria, etc., etc. The ages, okay, we can see all that stuff. That's not as important.
What's your highest age though? 25 to 34. Okay.
But that's not important though. None of that is important. What matters is this. Where are people engaging? Okay. Look at this. We just dropped off a cliff here. We just dropped off a cliff by this time. Okay. So all of that was.
And they missed the whole fun part with the monster.
Exactly. Why? Because my video probably should have started with the face of the monster. Okay. When you see the video, you see the thumbnail, you see the monster, but then when you open up, you see this, right? Maybe that's how it works. Or maybe they just were finding me through the For You page, okay, which is a different story. But either way, that's what happens. Now, let's go back here and let's ask ourselves, okay, what's happening here? We can see a video that's got 68 million views, 81 million views, 86 million views, 79 million views, 35 million views. All these different views, okay? I'm not going to go through and watch all these things because that's not what we're doing here right now, but just to get an idea, this is what we're seeing. This is what we can study. This is what we can improve on for ourselves. And we don't even have to necessarily watch all these pieces of content to understand that stuff. We just have to look at, okay, how can we make a small improvement here and there? Those small improvements are going to add up over time in order to helping us get to where we want to be, okay, from where we are now. So that's why these metrics are important. We can now understand, okay, maybe it's my packaging on this video that needs work. Maybe it's my retention that needs work, right? So am I just talking on and on and on and on? If I talk on and on and on and on, what's going to happen is that when someone clicks, they're going to just drop off, right? What we want instead for a real successful retention curve is we want a smooth slope, okay? So this is not good. This is what we want, okay? That's the difference between the two. We don't want our retention graph to look like this. We want our retention graph to look like this. This is the winning formula right here. We want to make sure that this is dialed in, title, thumbnail, hook for each video, because that's going to ultimately help us to get the most traction. So all the work that you do for a video may or may not take off, because what's going to happen is the algorithms are set up in such a way that they have to keep people on their platform. They have to keep people on the platform to keep people, to keep advertisers happy. That's just the relationship of it. And they have the algorithms designed in such a way that if you are not meeting that objective, they're only going to show your content to the people that actually get it, that actually understand how to create content. And that's a skill. Okay. Yes. You created the video where you got 27,000, 31,000 views or whatever, but now try duplicating that over and over and over again. That's the skill. Okay. You can get lucky once in a while, just like trading. You can have one good trade and think you're hot shit. But do that again and again and again and again over a large period of time, over a large set of numbers. That's the secret right there. And that takes studying. That takes looking at the data and the analytics and understanding, okay, this is what's happening here. Let's go to this guy. So now that we've talked about all that stuff, we can watch some of these videos. But again, that's still not the point. Because what I want to emphasize here is this. We have now a metrics tracking sheet. We have a metrics SOC database, which tracks specific data. That data is going to tell us the performance of a piece of content. And it will tell us whether or not we had early drop off, whether our packaging was weak, whether our content was strong, what's our failure point, what's the winner signal, right? So we have different select tags to determine that. And then we also have to determine what action do we take from here. Do we now fix up the packaging on that existing piece of content, or do we need to now alter and tailor the script or however we're doing it? Okay. So now moving on to this. Every piece of content is basically going to follow this format until we get to a place where we're like really doing really good views. And these are all the things that we need to fill in all the time. We're going to take screenshots of the metrics. We're going to take screenshots of our retention graph, which is super important. So if we can see here in actual real time, this is that piece of content that was 19 seconds, but it had 22 second average view duration, 30.8% stay to watch, 117.2% average percentage viewed. Notice how this was a smooth slope and then it went smoother down. So that means that within the 5 seconds, there should have been something here to keep them rehooked and engaged. Same thing as we go down the video.
That makes me think about Lee's videos.
And how he does it, right?
And the reason why his videos keep me on personally, and probably many others, is because he has the AI visuals. So it's not just him speaking and you just see his face, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
But it's like you are watching a little 30 seconds, 1 minute video, movie. And I think that's what keeps people on.
And that's what you have to understand too. And that's a great point that you brought up. When people are going onto social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, that's all visual. That's highly visual.
Maybe we should watch a video of him.
That's highly visual stuff. Let's focus here though. Screenshot. Okay, screenshot. This is another piece of data that we want to have. It's optional. It's not necessarily so mandatory, but this is basically our audience, like who's watching, where are they watching from, etc. So we want to compile different pieces of data to show us where we are here. So this is this piece of data. So the title, the thumbnail, that may need to change if we want to improve the performance of the video. Same thing here. So audience retention, this is already what it is for this piece of content. If I wanted to improve the performance of this piece of content over time, what I may need to do is what? Because I cannot change the actual video now at this stage. The only thing that I can do is change the packaging, which is the title and the thumbnail. That's the only thing that I can do to change this piece of content now at this stage. However, if let's say we have a piece of content where we had like something like this, I know that I can then take apart every single piece. Okay, I can take apart this piece. 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 And that's what I've been working on. So the template, basically, if we had these broken down into sections, section A, B, C, D, what I would do with the AI, and this is what I've been working on with the AI, is we're taking a template that has section A, B, C, D, and we're editing and we're tailoring each section of that piece of that template. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's what we need to work on. And that's what we need to focus on. Not watching videos to see how they do it, actually doing it. Okay. And in this regard, this is where we are. So if this was section A, section B, section C, section D, I basically have to take apart section B and how I transition from section A to section B to section C to section D, basically. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To explain that in real time is this. So we have here now the beginning blocks of a script. Okay, this is a template. We have the hook, we have the context problem, intro for topic, disclaimer, getting started, tapping points. This is one specific template for EFT videos. And then this is the outro. So basically what I would need to see is I upload the video, I see how it performs, and if it does not take off, what do I need to do? I need to look at this, and I need to look at the transition between this and this, the transition between 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, etc., etc. And that's going to take looking at the analytics and making those refinements, making those iterations, so that by the time we finish that iteration and then we create the next piece of content, hopefully we have improvement and we see some improvement. And that's how we need to treat this. Okay. Now, since you said about the Lee guy, what's his name? Samuel Lee?
Or just Dr. Lee. Yeah.
Okay. So this guy has 257K. Now notice, look at this. Look at how he starts off. It has nothing to do with his face. It's all AI generated, right?
Mm.
Okay, great. So now let's do this.
Oh, right. We're watching the short. Let's just watch one or two shorts because, yeah, what I said earlier. I think what keeps people on his videos, personally, I speak for myself. What keeps me on his videos, because I usually watch all the videos, or I used to watch all the videos to the end, is he's speaking in the background mainly, but it's all like short movies. And I want to personally watch the movie to the end.
Okay. We're going to do that. Just keep in mind, though, that we have to stay very focused.
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're
maybe
going to
just
watch
one.
2. Okay. We'll watch 2 because what you're seeing is a content format. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about is a content format. All right. So let's check this out.
You can build your entire signature course in 30 seconds.
No, that's not the one we clicked on. Is it?
You can only love someone else as much as you love yourself.
Okay, notice how when you click on the video, what happens is he's got the frame cut at the beginning, and you click on the
You
video.
can only love someone else as much.
So that's how he sets the thumbnail, because YouTube doesn't have the feature to, at least from what I'm seeing, unless I'm wrong, to set your own thumbnail. So what do you have to do? You have to set a frame, literally the first second, the first frame here is the thumbnail, because that's how that shows up in the feed. Okay, that's how that shows up here. Okay, so really understand that part. That's already the first part right there. Do you see that?
I don't understand.
Okay. You look at his content based on what you see, right? You click on something based on what you see. You chose to look at this based on all these thumbnails, right? Love starts within.
Yeah.
That's the thumbnail of the video. That's the packaging.
Yeah.
This is part of the packaging, title and thumbnail. That's part of packaging, right?
Mm-hmm.
You click on the video.
You can only.
What happens? What do you see immediately?
It's his face.
No, it's this. The first frame is this,
Oh.
which is the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's already a core design principle for creating a video. When you create a video, the first frame is the thumbnail
Okay.
in a YouTube short. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so notice that one more time.
You can only love someone else as much as you love yourself. You can only love others to the level you love yourself. Literally, reject parts of yourself, you're rejecting them in others. Judge yourself, you're judging others. Accept all parts of yourself, and you'll find out as these parts come to surface, it's all parts, no exceptions. And then you will accept others. Loving people you disagree with while holding healthy boundaries and standing in your power, but your power is integrated love. And what that looks like, integration, means that you've literally integrated all parts of yourself without losing the love and seeing the deeper truth in others despite their behavior. This is what this time and age is calling for. You can only...
Okay.
He's talking about the parts.
Yep.
Yeah, so what keeps me personally more engaged is that he's putting in these short AI highlights.
It's not even highlights because he used actual stock footage. What he's doing is he's adding B-roll.
Oh, B-roll, yeah.
B-roll, okay?
But the videos on Instagram, they may be a little bit different.
I guarantee you they're probably the same. And he's just posting it to different platforms. Let's see. There you go. Same thing. Same exact thing. He's posting it to the same exact platform.
Yeah, but not all the videos he has.
As much as you love yourself.
Instagram,
You can
has
only
on
love
YouTube.
others to the level
If
you
we
love.
try out this one has 4.9 million views.
Water only fasting can change your life.
But that's also here too.
Oh, is it? I haven't seen it.
Okay, never mind.
When you do a 72-hour water fast, your body goes into ketosis. Your brain starts using fats for energy instead of carbohydrates. You start losing weight, but also you start becoming very, very clear. Now, in 72 hours, you can also go into autophagy, where your macrophages in your body start eating up all of the dead junk and garbage in your body, cleaning up your body.
You see, if you
And
pause
some
it here
people, when they do prolonged water only
can you
fast
scroll back here just
in a
for
contained
moment?
environment, they
Okay.
can start
So
reversing.
I like these parts. I like these visuals when he speaks. They personally keep me on
Yes, and that's
without stopping the video.
and that's what we're going to do. So that is a content format. That is a content format. Okay, let's finish watching.
Hypertension, diabetes, and even cancer. And I witnessed this at True North Healing Center in Santa Rosa, California. Try water only fasting to change your life. Jesus water only fasted. Elijah water only fasted. And after their 40-day water fast, the miracles started to flow. Water only fasting.
And how long is that video?
Seconds. I don't know. There's no timer on this.
Okay.
Okay, but again, now we're getting beyond what we're trying to do here.
Okay, let's continue.
So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to dissect the anatomy of a video, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we click on this. The first frame is actually the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to understand that the first frame is the thumbnail.
But it only appears for a second.
Exactly, less than a second. That's the first thing that we have to understand. Next, we can do the timer here,
can
which is
only-
better. Okay, so we can scrub this. Okay, now let's look at this.
You can only love
I don't-
someone else as much as you.
No, I don't see the...
What are you talking about? We can
Where
s-
is the picture from the beginning?
It's right there.
That's the thumbnail.
That's okay. Look. That's the thumbnail,
You can only
Yeah,
love.
and then it's him.
and then it's him. Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
It's literally one frame. Okay, you may not know this from video editing, but that's a frame.
Okay.
Okay, that's called a frame. So you have multiple frames. At least how I understand it, multiple frames creates a 1 second worth of video. So the very first frame is the thumbnail. It's like literally a tenth of a second. It's like 0.001
Yeah, it's like you
second.
don't even... It's so short, you don't even see it.
That's exactly right. So let's break this down. The first frame is this. Love starts within. AI generated text, 3 words.
You can only love someone else as much as you love yourself.
Stop. One sentence.
That's a quote.
You can only love someone else as much as you love yourself. And how many seconds is that?
4.
3 seconds maximum. 4 seconds maximum. Okay? One more time.
You can only love someone else as much as you love yourself.
How many words? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 words, 3 seconds.
Oh, 369.
What do you mean by that?
He's using the numbers, the Fibonacci numbers of creation, 3, 6, and 9, and 12. 12 equals 3. So he's using it. You said after 3 seconds, and then it's 12 words. 1 and 2 is 3.
Okay. I understand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? 12 words to a sentence. So we're going to write that down. Next, let's do this again. The whole thing is 46. Look at that, 46 seconds, less than 1 minute. That's a short. That is a short. Okay.
You can only love someone else as much as you love yourself.
Frame cut.
You can only love others to the level you love yourself.
Frame cut. So now we're here. 3 seconds, 6 seconds, frame cut. So every 3 seconds already, that may be the pattern. So every 3 seconds, frame cut. Oh, sorry, every 3 seconds, a transition.
Yeah. And I remember you mentioned that when we were watching the Game of Thrones, you said they're constantly changing the frame because of people's attention.
Exactly. So let's pay attention here.
Literally, reject parts of. You can only love someone else as much as you love yourself.
Frame cut.
You can only love others to the level you love yourself. Literally, reject parts of yourself. You're rejecting them in others.
Reject parts of yourself. You're rejecting them in others. 9 words. So you're noticing something here, right? So these are called scenes, okay? That's a scene. So one scene, another scene, another scene, okay? Let's break that down again. So we're already at 12 seconds now. And now he's going to likely frame cut.
Judge yourself. You're judging others. Accept all parts of yourself, and you'll find out as these parts come to surface, it's all parts. No exceptions. And then you will accept others. Loving people you disagree with while
Okay. B-roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
holding healthy
Okay. Stock video. B-roll.
boundaries and standing in your power, but your power is integrated love. And what that looks like, integration, means that you've literally integrated all parts of yourself without losing the love and seeing the deeper truth in others despite their behavior. This is what this time and age is calling for.
Okay. Again. So what are we noticing here? We're noticing that the first frame is, okay, hold on a second. Let me make sure I actually got the vocabulary down correctly. We are currently breaking down a short, and we're analyzing why it was doing well. I noticed that there are certain things that this creator is doing, and I just basically want to understand the terminology and make sure that we're correct here. Period. In video editing, what is a frame exactly? Question mark. Is it a scene or is it like the first thing that you see? So let's say if there's like multiple frames, does that equal to 1 second? Is that what you would call a frame in a video? Question mark. Also, when it switches over to his face,
You can only
comma, would that be considered a scene?
love someone else as much as you love yourself. You can only love others to the can only love others to the much as you love yourself. You can only love others to the level you love yourself. Others to the level only love others.
The other screenshot shows completely different people. And just to confirm, comma, this is what you would call I'm choosing to say C-roll intentionally, okay? I know it's B-roll, but I'm just to make sure that it's accurate. Then the other thing that I noticed too is that when the guy is talking and then he switched over to the C-roll, so this is how we also get our definition and our thing going, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that our what we're saying is accurate here. Right, like an editor. A frame is one single image in a video, not a scene. Video is just a rapid sequence of still images. A standard frame, 24 frames per second, means that there's 24 frames to equal 1 second. Okay? So what we saw here was a frame. This is the frame. This is the opening frame. Okay? That's the opening frame. If it was 30 frames per second, it'd be 30 frames, which is 1 second. If it was 60 frames to a second, it'd be 60 frames, which is still 1 second. So yes, multiple frames equals 1 second depending on the frame rate. Okay, that's important to understand. That's the difference here. Now you have to think, frame is one atomic unit. It's this. It's the smallest thing. That's a frame. A clip is a group of frames. A scene is a group of clips. Okay? When it switches to his face, is that a scene? Not necessarily. Correct term depends on intent. If it's just a cut between angles, shot, change, cut. If it's a different location, new scene. Okay, so it would have to be him somewhere else to be a new scene. Okay? In shorts like this, it's almost always just a new shot, not a scene. Professional term you want, cut to talking head, cut to A-roll. The couple different people is at C-roll, close, but the correct term is B-roll, not C-roll. A-roll, main subject talking, the guy's face. Okay, so
You can only
this is A-roll. Okay, this is your primary video.
only love someone else as much as you love yourself. You can only love others to
B-roll is this, the supporting visuals, okay? The clips that go over the guy's face. There is a term C-roll, but almost nobody uses it. Couple shot B-roll, meditation, glowing heart B-roll. The effect when switching, talking to B-roll. This is key and part of why it performs well. Common possibilities based on what you described, cut, motion effect, most likely. Hard cut, slight zoom, called punch in, zoom transition, dynamic cut. Okay, it's a transition. This is the term we want to use, okay? transition. A transition is like a fade, a cross dissolve, whatever. Okay. We don't need to know all the terms, but that's pretty much it. Universal Pro terminology, we have the structure, the frame, the clip, the shot, the scene, content types, arrow, transitions, editing techniques. Okay. Why the short works, quick breakdown. You're seeing a classic high retention formula. You're seeing a classic high retention formula. A-roll, which is the authority, face, trust, text hook, clear message, B-roll, L-cut, fast cuts, no dead time.
Yeah, that's why it came to me to bring it up, because before you had said what needs to get improved is the retention rate.
Yes.
And if this is an example for a classic high retention formula, then this is what we can copy or study.
1,000,000%. And then you can see the difference between what this guy did and what I did, and why is it that this guy got the views, I did not.
Yeah, and what also comes to me is there may be a deep connection with the numbers 3, 6, and 9, and using that intentionally, because they may be linked to people's attention rate. So if you have something more than 3 seconds, maybe it loses people's interest for whatever reason.
But here's the thing though. What you also will notice too is that the hook is the strongest part of the video. So if you get 80%, if you get the hook right, 80% will be good enough.
Yeah, I would say so.
Right? So the hook is 80% of the video. So the main thing is to rehook people.
Yeah, because he's saying in the first 3 seconds, you can only love others as much as you love yourself. And then it's like a pause and it's like intriguing. Okay, well, I want to know more about that.
Exactly.
So you stay on.
Exactly. And so that's why maybe a skit that's your improv, that's off the top of your head, it's not going to do so well. It may be fun. It may show your personality, but it may not take off. You know why? Because you're not engineering it in that purpose.
Or another way that he uses is he starts with a very intriguing question in the first 3 seconds. And then it's like, oh, I actually want to know that too. And then you stay on.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Okay, great. Now what I need for you to do for me is I need you to give me some terms that I can put into my Notion AI library. And basically what I want is the definitions and the terms for the frame, comma, the sorry, 1 second.
No dead time.
And what we're going to do is
You forgot one, didn't you?
No.
You forgot 4?
No, it's not so important for us right now. Okay, it did it anyway. That was pointless. Okay, terms. Sorry, definitions. And now we have this library where we can talk about like definitions and stuff, okay? So I'm going to put this into, let's say, video editing stuff. Please do me a favor and input these definitions into the relation of brand operating system and set the tag to video editing, please. Good enough. Okay, so let's continue, right? Let's do a couple more examples here and just notice this now from beginning to end, okay? This is, when we're looking at the video, this is how we have to study it, okay? First, we study it with no sound and we just look at what we see visually, and then we study it with the sound to hear his tone, okay? So now this time, let's do this again. Let's study everything, okay?
You can only love someone else as much as you love
Notice how he has text overlay that keeps it visual, that keeps everything moving.
yourself. You can only love others
He's got the transition. So it cuts from his face to the scene.
to the level you love yourself.
And then
Literally.
he cuts back to his face. Now he has
Reject
a longer
parts of
frame
yourself.
here,
You're
a longer shot.
Rejecting them in others.
Because by this time, he's already hooked his viewer. By 12 seconds, they're already hooked, and they're probably going to stay to the end.
Judge yourself. You're judging others. Accept all parts of yourself and you'll
Notice how his face basically covers up the whole screen. And he's also got a watermark here of his branding for his personal brand. That's important.
find out as these parts come to surface. It's all parts, no exceptions. And then you will accept others. Loving people you disagree with while holding healthy
Notice how, once again, at the 23-second mark,
disagree with while
transitions.
holding healthy boundaries and standing in your power, but your power is
then he transitions
integrated
back.
love. And what that looks like
and notice how that's only like a couple of seconds, right? So what does he have to do? He creates a very different thumbnail every single time intentionally to get the person to click. That's all he's doing. And then
you
he
can
shows his
only
face.
love someone else as much as you love yourself. You can only love others to the level you love yourself.
cuts.
Literally. Reject parts of yourself. You're rejecting them in others. Judge yourself. You're judging others. Accept all parts of yourself and you'll find out as these parts come to surface. It's all parts, no exceptions. And then you will accept others. Loving people you disagree with while holding
And then
healthy
he transitions.
boundaries and standing in your power, but your power is integrated love. And what that looks like, integration, means that you've literally integrated all parts of yourself
And then he transitions again.
without losing the love and seeing the deeper truth in others despite their behavior. This is what this time and age is calling for. You can
Okay, so now what do we see here? He used 3 different B-roll shots or clips, basically. Okay. The A-roll was him. He didn't change a scene. It was literally like, if you look at the background, it
you
was still in
only
the same
love
place.
someone else come to
Nothing
surface love.
changed.
And what that
It was very, very likely that he was using a prompter. Let's just be honest. Okay. Because I didn't hear any ums. I didn't hear any stutters.
I think these are shorts from his podcast.
Maybe.
You can only love someone else as much as you love yourself. You can only love others to the level you love yourself. Literally. Reject parts of yourself. You're rejecting them in others. Judge yourself. You're judging others. Accept all parts of yourself and you'll find out as these parts come to surface. It's all parts, no exceptions. And then you will accept others. Loving people you disagree with while holding healthy boundaries and standing in your power, but your power is integrated love. And what that looks like, integration, means that you've literally integrated all parts of yourself without losing the love and seeing the deeper truth in others despite their behavior. This is what this time and age is calling for.
Okay, cool. Now we did that, right? Now we're going to put on the sound. And now we're going to study it from this part, from this perspective.
Okay, and we're also gonna go to the final part for today.
Yes.
Okay, which is if we have time, I still want to show you the or upload the ideas for the life purpose of, which
Yeah.
I have on my
Yeah, okay. And that's why we got to make sure that we're not getting distracted, okay?
Yeah, so should we leave that?
No.
Okay.
One more time now. Now we got to look at this.
Can only
'Cause
love
You also brought this up that you want to look at this guy to study his thing. What I'm saying is we need the template from how to do this.
Yeah.
All right? And that's why I study it this way. Now, one more time.
You can only love someone else as much as you love yourself. You can only love others to the level you love yourself.
Hear his tone.
Literally. Reject parts of yourself. You're rejecting them in others.
Listen to his pacing.
Judge yourself. You're judging others.
He's not saying and. Judge yourself. You're judging others. Right? He's not saying judge yourself and you're judging. He's not having a conversation. He's actually speaking. It sounds like he's reading from a prompter.
Accept all parts of yourself, and you'll find out as these parts come to surface, it's all parts, no exceptions. And then you will accept others. Loving people you disagree with while holding healthy boundaries.
It also sounds like he has a little very faint music in the background. Very, very faint.
And standing in your power, but your power is integrated love. And what that
Notice how he says, and your power is integrated love. So he's really emphasizing certain key words.
That looks like integration means that you've literally integrated all parts of yourself without losing the love and seeing the deeper truth in others despite their behavior. This is what this time and age is calling for.
And that's very easy to replicate. Okay? So if we go to his oldest stuff, this is how he's doing it.
Maybe it doesn't have to be today, but maybe we take the videos that got actually the most views.
That's exactly right. And that's what you would study. So let's do this. All in workout for powerful legs. Don't skip leg day, do this exercise, right? That's his most viewed video, basically.
This is the only leg exercise you ever need. It's going to work your toes, your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads, all in one exercise. Don't skip leg day. That's where you get rooted and grounded. So check this out. Stand on your tippy toes and put your heels together like a frog. And you're going to put your fingertips on the ground and you're going to bend down like this, like a frog, okay? And you're going to inhale through your nose, up, and then you're going to exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Feel the burn, embrace the burn. Now do 30 of them. Real yogis do about 108. Start with 30, work your way up to 108 and get powerful legs. Let's go. This is
Okay, now let's break this down again. No audio. Okay, what is he doing? Frame. The first frame is the thumbnail. He puts it at the very beginning. He's got his watermark here.
This is the only
All-in workout for powerful legs.
leg exercise you ever need. It's going to work your toes, your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads, all in one exercise. Don't skip leg day. That's where you get rooted and grounded. So check this out. Stand on your tippy toes and put your heels together like a...
So that means that in the first 10 seconds, it has to be engaging enough to capture the viewer's attention and to make them want to stay. Because by the time they'll get to 10 seconds, they're probably like, okay, I'm just going to wait and see what this guy has to say, basically, by that time. So if you don't get them in the first 3 seconds, the first 3 seconds is the first part of it. And he goes immediately from frame to his face, frame to face to B-roll. And he does the same thing.
Frame, face, B-roll.
Frame, face, B-roll. Okay? So let me actually write that down. So first is frame. Face is like 3 to 4 seconds.
FFB.
Okay. B-roll is now another like 2 to 3 seconds. And then by the time we get to 10 seconds, we now have the main piece, right? The main clip or whatever it is. And he's just there. Let's break that down again. Title, thumbnail. That's packaging the first frame.
This is the only leg exercise you ever need. It's going to work your toes,
B-roll. And we're already at 5 seconds.
your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads, all in one.
Back to a transition by 12 seconds. Okay, so by the time we get to, let me see here. Six seconds, and I'm going to say here 11 seconds. So one more time.
They told you that.
This is the only leg exercise. This is the only
2,
leg
3,
exercise you ever
5,
need. It's gonna work your
and
toes,
transition.
your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads, all
to
in
10
one
minutes and
exercise.
transition.
Don't skip leg
See? So around that time, now we're already at the main piece.
day. That's where you get rooted and grounded. So check this out. Stand on your
He's got
tippy
the text.
toes and put your heels together like a frog. And you're gonna put your fingertips on the ground and you're gonna bend down like this, like a frog, okay? And you're gonna inhale through your nose, up, and then you're gonna exhale down. Inhale, exhale.
Here's adds an
Feel the
effect.
burn, embrace the burn. Now do 30 of them. Real yogis do about 108. Start with 30, work your way up to 108.
Okay, and now what does he add? He adds in a call to action. He doesn't even mention it there because that's a waste of time. He adds it here because it's now going to just go up in there, right? So the call to action is at the end.
I want to see in the comments if people have commented tribe.
Tribe,
Yeah, so
tribe,
people do it.
tribe, 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 tribe. Okay?
So you
And get
can
powerful.
You can have a call to action in the short videos simply by adding a text.
Exactly.
Don't even have to say anything.
Exactly. And the thing is, why is he doing that now? Think about that for a second.
Well, I know how this works because I have done this on his Instagram where he has call to actions, for example, for webinars that he created. So there is a short video, I watched it, and then he says, just with one sentence, comment webinar if you want the link to the webinar. Then I commented on the Instagram below his video, I commented webinar, and then you get an automated inbox message to your Instagram with the webinar details. So this is how it works.
With the webinar details, right?
Yeah, or with a link to register for the webinar.
Exactly.
And that's automated.
Exactly. However, now, before we get there though, there's also one thing that you missed. Very important. The algorithms want to see engagement.
With the comments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So instead of him saying go to samuellee.com for the thing, why did he say comment tribe?
So that he gets more engagement under the shorts.
Because when he gets more engagement,
It gets redistributed more.
It gets more impressions,
yes.
more views, more everything. So that's why it goes viral.
Yeah.
So you understand that part?
Yes.
Okay, so comment whatever, because when you
comment or share.
Comment or share.
Share this with someone who blah 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 blah.
But if you comment, it's gonna be better. You know why? Because then you respond back to them, and that adds another comment. You get what I'm saying? When you respond again, that's another comment.
Yeah.
So that's now, instead of, if let's say you had 3 comments that were all tribe and you responded to each one, that's now 6 total comments.
Mm-hmm.
That shows even more engagement. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's look at that now one more time.
But I didn't see him comment on this one.
What do you mean?
I did not see him respond to the comments.
He probably did, and you just don't know it.
It would be shown. I didn't see it.
It's hiding. Maybe. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do this one more time.
Full legs, let's go.
And maybe he did. Or maybe he didn't.
No, but that's how it works. I remember that from Instagram. You make a comment and then you receive in your inbox a message.
Exactly. And that's exactly what Max did. He for the baby video he did with his daughter, he said, comment this and I'll send you the affirmations. And that's exactly what he did. He had comment thing, affirmation, and then it got to 16 million views.
Also, he does have something that he sends people, but these were free affirmations.
Yeah. But still, regardless, that's what you kind of want to do, but for your asset, for your newsletter asset. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. So let's do this again. Let's break this down again.
This is
Because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to Notion. Okay. Let's go to SOC production. Okay, so let's do this here. We're going to go up in here, side by side on this. One.
this is
2.
the only
They told you.
this is the only leg exercise you ever need. It's gonna work.
3.
Your toes, your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads, all in one get power to 108.
Okay. And this is how you would have to do this if you want to be a professional. Is this going to work forever? No. You know, but this may be what works right now at this stage. And as people get more savvy as to how like they do everything and how they break down certain videos, please help me organize these notes and these points. So I'm basically breaking down that video and I'm noticing the similar patterns across those videos. And there was one short that the guy got that got him almost 1 million views to that short. And what he did was he had the frame that showed the title and the thumbnail. Then he had his face and he had his hook. Then he transitioned to B-roll about 6 seconds in. And then the B-roll was for about 5 seconds. And then he had the main piece from 12 seconds to about 45 seconds. And then he had a comment, little text box that said comment, whatever the word was, for a specific offer or for something specific that he was going to give away, basically, period. Cool. And just like that, now we just broke everything down. We just literally broke everything down from this guy. That's it. The entire video itself was what, less than a minute. It was always under 1 minute. And that's again how you do this, okay?
Inhale.
So let's go back to him one more time. Okay, and this will be the last bit of it. But his most viewed video was 981,000 views for the shorts. How did he do that? One more time, break that down.
This is the only leg.
Which is kind of funny because this video is not really about his niche at all.
Nothing to do with his niche at all, right? So here we go. Thumbnail, title.
This is the only
face,
leg exercise you ever need. It's going to work your toes.
transition at 4 or 5 seconds. Okay, so we have title, thumbnail, face, A-roll, which is his face in the hook, 1 second to 6 seconds. We have the transition of the B-roll.
Your calves, your hamstrings, your...
They told you the
This is the only... Your toes,
Transition of the B-roll. You got the text
your
overlay.
calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads, all in one exercise. Don't skip leg
And then
day.
after this,
That's where you get rooted
it's
and
just a
grounded. So check this out. Stand on
He's
your
in the
tippy toes
frame. Okay,
and put
so
your
it's not
heels
his
together
face
like
cut.
a
You
frog.
can see his face.
And you're going to put your fingertips on the ground and you're going to bend down like this, like a frog, okay? And you're going to inhale through your nose
Gives instructions.
and then you're going to exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Feel the burn, embrace the burn. Now do 30 of them. Real yogis do about 108. Start with 30, work your way up to 108.
Comments tribe at the last 5 seconds. Okay, in the last 3 seconds. The last 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one more time here. Okay, ready?
This is the only leg exercise you ever need.
We have the hook. We have the thumbnail frame, title.
This is the
Hook.
only leg exercise you ever need. It's going to work your
Transition. Okay, so right here now we got the B-roll transition. right here.
toes, your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads, all in one
By about 10 seconds, 12 seconds, we go to the main content.
exercise. Don't skip leg day. That's where you get rooted and grounded. So check this out. Stand on your tippy toes and put your heels together like a frog. And you're going to put your fingertips on the ground and you're going to bend down like this, like a frog, okay? And you're going to inhale through your nose, up, and then you're going to exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Feel the burn, embrace the burn. Now do 30 of them. Real yogis do about 108. Start with 30, work your way up to 108.
Okay, 56-second mark. All right, so notice how it's here. 56-second mark.
108.
Comments tribe to join this. There you go. Comment for offer.
And get powerful legs. Let's go. This
Done. And this is a 59-second video. So it's the last 3 seconds. So from 56 seconds to 59 seconds, he had the call to action. And that may be the most appropriate thing to do, because with the shorts, again, if it's discovery based and people never watch you again or see from you again, and they actually stay to the end, have a call to action towards the end.
Yeah.
Done.
Why not?
Done. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now let's move on here. Do we see everything that we needed to see from this guy?
Yeah. One thing that I see, which I find very important to point out, is having a call to action on the shorts is very powerful, because shorts usually get a much higher view rate. And let's say you get 2,000 people a day watching your short versus 100 people on a long form content, you can get a call to action much faster out there with the shorts.
Exactly. So that's why we also do the shorts, right? It's very, very simple. This is so easy to do. This is so easy to do. Okay?
Okay.
You understand what we're doing so far, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, let's do this here. The next step of this process is, now that we have the idea, now that we have the template, basically, okay? Now that we have the template, we already know that this is what's going to work, because this is basically us just reverse engineering what he did, okay? We got that. That's easy to do with AI. That's easy to do. That's easy to do. That's easy to do. That's easy. That's easy. Okay. Now let's have some fun here. Okay. Let's first take a little detour. What is it that you wanted to show?
So I have recorded on my voice recorder, where we do the Soraya stories, 10 to 12 ideas of the life purpose of. And yeah, what can we do with that?
Okay, let me see.
So if you scroll down here, wait, let me guide you a bit better. Yeah, they all came through on April the 22nd. So if you scroll up from here.
Oh, you recorded the sound of it.
No, I recorded the ideas.
Okay. Stop right there. Here's what we're gonna do. Because we can get distracted from that very easily. Okay. So what we're gonna do is the following.
Well, maybe it's not something to be shared with you today. Maybe you already had a different workflow for today.
No, we're gonna do it.
Okay.
So just to highlight this, okay, do we understand what we're doing, where we are right now with this process? Okay, we've already gone through a whole bunch of like super tough stuff with like metrics and everything like this, setting up the entire core.
Yeah.
Now the next part of this is to now start to really produce it in mass, right? And so what we do here is the following, okay? We're going to basically now take all this information that we have from the analytics and everything like this. We said, okay, this is what worked. This is what didn't work. Okay, fine, no problem. Now let's start producing content, okay? Today's live stream is based on content formats and script templates, okay? So now what we got to do is we're going to create a script template. You had, what is it, the life purpose of?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we're going to do is this. We're going to take this and we're going to apply that here, all right? So let's go up in here. Okay. And now what we got to do is this. Don't matter right now. Does that make sense why we broke down the metrics? Because again, when we are creating this kind of content, we're not just going to create it because we want to create it like for shits and giggles. We're creating it with this very specific purpose to not waste our time or our audience's time.
Yeah.
We're doing this so that way we can present the offer.
No, I get it. We're laying out the structure, right?
Yes.
Because the structure wants to ultimately get the viewers, the audience, and us to a specific destination.
Exactly.
Because otherwise we're just flowing, and we may not have a destination at all.
Exactly. And where's that going to get us?
And that's the importance, again, of feminine and masculine energetics working together in unity.
Yep. Okay. So what I'm going to do here for us to get this template, because we're going to get the template going, and then we may not get to it today, but we're going to hash out the template so that for next week, we're going to be really good to go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to export this template now. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this template and we're going to adapt it to the shorts thing that we want to do for how you want to do that video style. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we're going to get there like really, really fast. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So check this out. So we go into deep work. And that's again why I said too, the main thing is like, are you going to be psychologically prepared for that stuff? You know, are you going to be really prepared for all the views and all the stuff that comes in?
Well, you can't attach to it.
Yeah.
Like the whole attachment. We spoke about this.
Mm-hmm.
You got to live your life free of attachments.
Yep.
Because we come with nothing and we leave with nothing. Everything else is just a beautiful experience in between.
Okay. I got to dictate a prompt. So. All right. So in the future, if anyone watches this or if anyone's watching this right now, basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the template that we studied and we just dissected basically. And I already have the idea of where I want to go with this. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adapt the life purpose of da-da-da is to da-da-da-da. And I'm going to adapt this so that way it's as hooky and sticky as possible. And we're going to then graduate to using AI tools like Kling AI, for example, where or in video, where we basically are telling these little 45-second stories, okay? Because we know that for a short, the maximum length for a short, I believe, should be under 1 minute. If it's not under 1 minute, it's not considered basically a short. And in terms of like retention and attention, it may not be the best. So we're going to use a tool like Kling to basically help us generate really cool B-roll that tells that story. Okay, so let's go here. Right, and even still, we can even tell like a narrative story of, you know, the life purpose of from a very different perspective as well. So it's all good either which way. Let's take this, delete that, go here, download, export the PDF. export that. Okay, the following PDF attachment is basically a content format that we want to put into practice right now with an actual script. So if you look at the PDF, we have call out blocks. Call out block A is for the master prompt that AI will execute, specifically Notion AI, comma. Call out block B is the about and the rules. And then call out block C is basically where the micro prompts go so that the Notion AI can generate a script for us. Now, having said that, us, comma, and then call out block D is where the generated output go. And that's the final thing that basically we would read off on a prompter, period. Having said that though, comma, what I need from you and what we're trying to do right here is we're trying to create a series of shorts that basically tell micro stories for someone's life purpose. And it's called the life purpose of ... And so the life purpose of ... is just a micro story that's a short to basically be distributed across the major social media platforms. And we're going to have basically a call to action at the end of every short because we understand that retention, if someone isn't retaining and staying to watch to the end, it may be wasted effort to basically distribute that content. So we wouldn't speak any call to action at the end. We would have like a text overlay at the end. Period. But what you're going to do is you're going to look at the call out block called instructions. You're going to read that entire format, and you're also going to read the stuff at the top, like the life purpose of a ... is to ... And I want you to also help us now define like what would be the most hookable pieces, because we would have to basically engineer this now into sections where we think, okay, the first 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 seconds of a video are going to be the hook. Then the next 3 to 8 seconds until we get to 12 seconds is going to be explainer or whatever is going to make that video work and go as viral as it can. And then the next pieces of it, like how long does that have to be? You get what I'm saying? So we need to be thinking in terms of 3 seconds, comma, 6 seconds, comma, and 9 seconds, period. So whenever we're writing a script, okay, we need to think 3 seconds, comma, 6 seconds, comma, 9 seconds, or even 12 seconds at the maximum, period. And in terms of sentences, if we have, we're working with sentences, each sentence should be like 12 words, 12 words, or 15 words maximum. Between 6 and 12 or 15 words maximum, period. So every single time we write the script and every single time the script is generated, it should be generated like that in bullet points with either a 6, 12, 15 word, or even a 9 word bullet point. And then we structure it in such a way where we have a prompt as to what kind of visual should be overlaid as into the video, period. So I need you to look at the call out blocks, and I need you to help me basically take the instructions, the very top part where we're analyzing that person's video, and help me transform it now into a prompt for section A, comma, then an about for section B, comma, then the micro prompts in section C, and how each section should look like, so that by the time we get to section D, we get the output generated super clean, period. If you have any questions and need any follow-up, please let me know. But otherwise, this is what we need to do. Oh, we're now at GPT 5.5. Cool. Perfect. That's beautiful. And that's what we want. You need to find a way to combine call out block C and call out block D, because call out block D is intentionally blank so that the agent generates the output into call out block D, period. Okay. So the instructions should be very clear that call out block C are basically like the micro prompts of what to do. Okay. And then call out block D basically generates the output, period. So if you have to also update the prompt for section A in order for that to work, what you're gonna do now is you're gonna pull out the recording, take one piece.
One piece?
Take one piece of content, and we're gonna test it in real time. We're gonna test this.
Okay, should I play it from my phone or should I upload it?
Play it from your phone, and we're gonna check it out here.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Not right now though. I need to just format this.
Okay, how many more minutes do you need?
Less than 2.
Okay. Right.
All right. So now what you're going to do for me here is I'm going to put on the dictation, and you're going to put the microphone put the recording next to the microphone. Okay.
Mhm.
So hold on a second. I'll let you know. Go for it.
Story time for Soraya.
Sorry.
Let me know when you're ready.
Ready?
The life purpose of the star seeds of the new earth. This is a storyline for the life purpose of, and it is about the following story. Showcasing how millions upon millions of star seeds came from the cosmos to be planted into the dark yet fertile ground of Mother Earth. And just like seeds have the potential to grow and blossom into something extraordinarily beautiful, sacred, and life-giving, there are also those seeds who never blossom and who won't sprout. So the idea behind this storyline of the life purpose of the star seeds of the new earth is to showcase and depict, through the help of visual and generated AI image and video material, how the star seeds of the new earth came here to the planet Earth to be planted into the dark, fertile ground. And during the times where we were surrounded by all that darkness, the ones that returned and remembered that the light of the divine has always been within themselves, within their own seed, and those that were strong enough to summon that light from within in the darkness surrounded by the earth, they were able to summon and reawaken and reactivate the divine spark within their seed. And those were the seeds that started to activate, and those seeds started to light up. First it was a small light, and then it expanded in through and around the entire star seed, eventually cracking the seed open with all that light, shooting the light of the stars and the divine out into the fertile soil of earth, digging roots of light in through and around the earth, growing stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And the seed remembered who and what it truly was. Divine, infinite intelligence of source. And those star seeds started to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and expanded more and more and more, fully realizing their own greatest self-potential, their own divine realization,
their highest purpose fulfilled. And then we showcase how these star seeds of light shoot from the darkness out into the soil and the surface of the earth, growing into the most beautiful new earth depictions and concepts, and trees and flowers and gardens and rivers and sunrises and happiness and rainbows and beautiful, powerful, mighty dragons. And then we are showcasing how these star seeds that broke through the shell created literally the visuals and the imagery of the new earth paradigm all over the planet, because they remembered who they truly are. And the other seeds who were overcome by the darkness and who forgot that the light has always been inside of them, and those seeds that were looking for the light outside of them, they fell for the illusion of darkness, and they didn't realize that they were actually planted in fertile ground to reawaken and remember the potential. Those seeds, they faded away in the dark soil of the earth, never realizing the potential that was inside of them. Bring this story onto the life purpose off as an artifact for the Sunday live stream.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this.
You had a few spelling mistakes.
Doesn't matter. Be fine. Okay. So where we go now with this is we got prompt here. We're going to have call out block.
Do we need the microphones? Are there
Headphones? No. It's just to basically at the beginning is just to monitor. It's just called monitoring. And the idea behind the monitoring is just to make sure that you're not talking like this. You're talking into the microphone. That's the whole purpose of it.
Okay, so I can do it now without the headphones.
Yeah. But again, remember, that's also why we did it the first couple of weeks, is because you have a tendency of talking and not, that's why we got to make sure we're mindful of being in front of the microphone. Okay. Okay, so what we do is this. And I'm going to add
within their own seed.
Okay. All right, now here's where we need to really start to think a bit, because the hardest part for this, for me, is just thinking of the idea. Is like, how are we going to structure this? That's the hardest part. But once we get the system going, it's going to be mega easy. Okay, and you can just do this like infinitely.
I saw the actual video in my mind when the story came through.
Yep. All right. So we got here the concept. Okay, let's feed this one more time here. Actually, you know what? Let's go here to... Right, let's lock that in for a second. Let's go back to the SOC production hub. We already have the metrics tracking sheet, so we already know that, right? So I already took the concept from there, and now we have that. Now we're going to take the SOC production hub database, and we're going to create, let's go here with the template. Yep. Okay. Now the page is going to duplicate the template, right? Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to basically get an audit here. This is the next part of this. We need to audit the current way that the prompt is executing, right? because we know I just added this in the concept, but there's no way in the prompt that's programmed right now for the prompt to basically take from the concept. Okay. So this is what we have to work on. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. What I need you to do for me right now is I need you to audit this entire template, but specifically, I need you to audit the prompt from section. And I need you to read over section B. And then I need you to also review section C, period. There may need to be an update because what I want you to do is I want you to look at the concept call out block and basically do your best to apply the concept of what we're trying to accomplish with this particular video. And you're going to execute your prompt to then generate what you need to in section D. Okay. So all of the entire outline needs to basically somehow fit the concept into the script outline for section C. Does that make sense? Question mark. Okay. And what we did here was we added a new page, right? An example page. And the reason for that is because I need to test this template out. So we need to make certain iterations to the template. It's not going to work on the first time the way you want it to. Okay. So now it's going to make the edits that it needs to, and we're going to see the output generated in section D. Okay. We're going to see the output generated in section D. What I need to do after that is I need to just basically copy again the updated text into the template, refresh it, ask it to run again, and then gauge how it's performing. Because if now we have a script that we can, now that gives us the ability to now do the templating. Okay. So when we get over here, check this out. We want to get to the stage where we're over here now. And we want to basically create video with Kling, right? So this is all AI generated stuff. Let me see, video generation. This is all AI. All AI. AI. Right, so we can get here to the cool part maybe next week, honestly. But how can I see this again? All right. Oh, explore. That's what I want to go to. So check this out. So you can see like little video clips. We'll be able to.
That looks like you when you're old. That one reminds me to you. For real though. Oh, it was Santa Claus. Okay.
So this is what we're gonna work with. Okay.
Oh my God.
It looks really good.
That's me drinking my cacao.
Yep. It looks really, really good. You could even do like, the Three Kings concept. So there's a lot of different things that we can do.
So these are not real people.
No, this is all AI. all AI. But that's the cool part about it, right? Like you can do pretty much anything that you can think of. Right? And we're gonna play around with that. So that's gonna come very likely next week, okay? Because also at the same time too, you know, if we're gonna invest in this, this is $180 a month. Okay, to use AI. So I think this would be a huge advantage for us, yes. But we got to make sure that we do it in such a way that we do kind of copy that Samuel Lee idea. Okay.
So they're $200 a month, and this is for AI video creation and even movies. Up to which length, do you know?
As long as you have credits, you can keep going.
Okay.
So we can make like literally 30-minute movies, which is what we're going to get to, and we're going to figure this out, how to do this. But for right now, we're going to stick with very simple, and it's good because it's like cinematic stuff. Okay, so here we go. The life purpose of a starseed. The life purpose of a starseed is to remember the light in the dark. If you felt different, this is why. On-screen text, you're not broken. Okay, nope, that's not what we want. But hey, you know, this is a start. Okay, so again, I got to keep working this prompt over and over and over and over again until we get the actual script. Okay. So this is what's going to take the most time to figure out, and that's going to probably take me like another week to figure out. And this is what we honestly are going to need to be doing until we get there. Okay. So this part is going to require the most patience to set up the script. But once you have that template format, oh man, you can do pretty much anything after that.
So enough that I gave you the one story today, and all the others, I'll give them to you.
Yeah, you give them to me
the next time.
You give them to me later. Yeah.
Okay. So we start with one. Yep.
Because if it works for one template, if it works for one idea, it's going to work for the rest. Okay, so this is where we're going to stop off for today, because I'm already starting to feel it in my body, like sitting so much. But this is where we're going to stop off for today, okay?
Okay.
And this is a good start. We went from explaining the metrics, explaining everything, analyzing a piece of content and what's sticky right now, to also now having our first rough outline for a prompt that the agent is going to execute, about the rules, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so that's really good. That's a good start. And now we have that, and that's going to live in the SOC Production Hub database. It's going to live as a short. So let's actually make that here, and let's actually say the, oops. Okay.
Just one thing that I wanted to share with you is on, when you have a moment.
a second. This takes a lot of mental work.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I'd imagine that if we have all of these different ideas, they're all ultimately going to be templates. They're ultimately going to be templates, and that's going to be the work for this part now. So we got the metrics down. We also now analyze a piece of content that is doing well in the market currently. Now the next part of this is to really dissect the script and what the AI outputs. So please, what did you want to share?
I just saw that on my easy voice recording app on the phone, where I recorded the idea for the live purpose of, there is an option to directly create a video of this voice recording, just putting it out there.
Okay, did you test it?
No, because it's an extra subscription.
Okay. So what I can, I mean, that's up to you what you want to do with it. It's up to you to test it. I don't know if you're going to get the output that you want.
Okay.
Okay. That's just it. It may, I don't know. You have to test it out for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. But for me, you know,
my point of bringing this up is that there are apps where you can literally make a voice transcription, or like we make the story for Soraya, into an AI video.
Yep.
For paid subscription.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, do yourself a favor here too. Whenever you're first coming on, figure out your camera setup, okay?
Oh.
Okay, so make sure that you know your camera looks good from your end, and you do that for yourself. Okay. Let me put this like this.
You think it was a bit too far away today?
Yeah.
It was a bit dark, right?
Yeah, probably better to have your face closer now.
Yeah.
Like before, for me, that's the thing. I realized like I wanted to have like that distance, but now I see the importance of having like the camera closer. Oh, but then I can't see. There you go.
Unless I have it here.
Yeah, you got to move that out the way. There you go. There we go. Now it's a good compromise here.
Okay.
Because now I can see, you can see, we can see.
Okay, it's a little bit lighter now.
All right, anything else?
No, thank you so much for today.
All right, you're welcome. See you.